violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo. Ain't that nigga J.
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius
Hey,
Jackson,
jump on that
here
nigga,
live,
man.
reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Cheryl, North Riverside Police are going business to business today, checking in ahead of potentially planned unrest this weekend at North Riverside Park Mall. And after the chaos that we saw unfold in Chicago this past weekend, residents who use this mall often tell me they are on edge.
It's just scary, and I hope it gets better, and I hope that the police will control this.
A mother sharing her concerns today about.
So who does she want to control the flash mobs of super teen gremlins? On demon time, running into the streets maniacally, showing they whole behind. She wants the police. Where is all that defund the police talk now? We gotta keep that same energy, you know. I'm calling for them to keep that same energy because, you know, the reality is you're getting what you asked for. And in Chicago, everything is amplified, especially when it comes to violent crime. And you have very young people out here committing these atrocious, horrendous acts of violence. And this is exactly what they've been asking for. And we've been covering it on this channel for the longest. So buckle up. This is not going to be the first or last flash mob, as we can see. And these super teen gremlins, they're getting bold.
What could unfold around North Riverside Park Mall this weekend?
I was scared. I mean, for the people around the neighborhood, my children, my grandchildren, my people associated here, everybody around there. It's very dangerous.
The North Riverside and neighboring Berwyn police departments issuing a warning to residents about potential unrest planned this Saturday afternoon around the mall and a next door urban air adventure park.
They want the attention, yes. Yeah.
Urban air adventure park. I mean, you're pretty much asking for it at this point. They got the graffiti font. I mean, it looks cool. It looks good, right? But if it's causing this much trouble, you've got to go.
Attention, yes. Yeah. I just think that they're too young to know exactly what they're doing.
In a statement, Berwyn police wrote him.
And that's where he's wrong, bro. In this age of social media, they know exactly what they're doing. They're seeing it online. Bro, these kids, like, they're exposed to a lot more things earlier. So they do know what they're doing. And The problem is their parents don't know what they're doing, or maybe they do and they don't care.
Part, this gathering, much like what was reported on in the city of Chicago last weekend, has the potential for public disturbances and acts of violence.
I was alarmed, obviously, immediately.
North Riverside Mayor Joseph Mangoni says after a chaotic weekend in the Loop, his police department was tipped off about the potential unrest this Saturday by the Chicago Police Department. He says to expect an increased presence of law enforcement at the mall this weekend.
As long as nobody's breaking any laws or ordinances that pertain to the village of North Riverside or the state of Illinois, people will be fine.
Now, North Riverside Mall also issued a statement today writing in part, quote, "We've decided to enact our youth supervision policy for that day. We're working closely with local police to monitor the situation and have planned for increased security staff at the..."
Yeah, Mike and Joe, for a Friday night, pretty calm out here, but that might not be the case tomorrow.
I mean, it can happen anywhere.
At North Riverside Park Mall, there has always been a curfew for teenagers after 6 o'clock on the weekends.
It's been like this for a couple of years now, that if you're 17 years or younger, you have to be here with a parent or someone 20 years, 21 or older.
Tomorrow, that rule will go into effect at 2 in the afternoon as police and mall security brace for a possible flash mob.
Well, it's scary.
The mall says they actively monitor social media pages since they have had issues with teenagers bombarding the mall in the past.
North Riverside has gotten bad.
In December, 2 people were arrested during a flash mob. Then again, on March 23rd, hundreds of teens descended on the mall and started fighting.
They're going to lose out on a lot of business.
This week, mall management saw another post on social media encouraging local teens to participate in a flash mob on Saturday.
And I mean, who's gonna be the predominant representation of these flash mobs? We got to do better. Where are the parents? Obviously, they're nowhere to be found. Or they saying, hey, get me some. Just make sure you come back and bring me some. I'm telling you right now.
I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of that period, so because that's absurd. That's ridiculous.
The mall notified police and will be increasing security.
Hold on. What she said? I didn't even understand what the... Let me not curse. Hold up. What did she say?
Participate in a flash mob on Saturday.
I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of that period, so because that's...
Okay, she wouldn't want... Okay, I just got to translate because she talking fast and, the tongue is clicking. She said she wouldn't want to be caught up in that regardless because it's scary. I'm pretty sure, right?
In a flash mob on Saturday.
I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of that period, so because that's absurd. That's ridiculous.
Okay, there we go. She wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of that period. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. I had to translate it. It was hard to follow the first time.
The mall notified police and will be increasing security.
Hopefully it's enough to stop it.
Now, some entrances might be restricted tomorrow. So if you want to shop here at the mall, be aware you may not be able to enter where you would normally enter.
Guys, I don't think I have to notify you, but don't go there. Don't shop there. I mean, at some point, you got to put your foot down. And if all the paying patrons leave and refuse to go to the mall because of the danger, then all the thieves will just come in and loot it and the mall will go out of business. And then there will be a mall desert. And then we'll have protests about a mall desert and all this stuff. You can't make this stuff up.
Berwyn police also alerting residents tonight that a lot of these teenagers, they may not be driving cars. They could be walking here on foot and they could be coming through neighborhoods. So they are warning residents to make sure their houses are locked and their cars are locked as well. Reporting tonight in North Riverside, Megan Dwyer, WGN News.
Thank you, Megan.
Brutally assaulted by a mob of teenagers over the weekend. They are sharing their experience exclusively with Fox. The video of 20-year-old Ashley and 22-year-old DJ being attacked on the 100 block of North Wabash went viral. They say they had just come out of Nordstrom shortly after 8 p.m. Saturday when they were surrounded.
We were just down.
And I hope you guys noticed the caption of the video.
Downtown in Chicago.
Run it back. Yay. Yay. Or yeah. That's what they really meant. Yeah, we get active. Yeah, we get active, bro. You're beating. I mean, what happened was they were going for the man, but apparently, you know, and they also beat them both down, you know, but the man suffered most of the injuries. But they're calling this getting active. I've told you guys, you know, we've got the op culture going around. We got the crash out culture, and this is part of the crash out culture. Okay, this is part of the crash out culture. I've been telling you guys since day one, you have to be aware, and you have to beware, because these super gremlins are on demon time.
Saturday when they were surrounded.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, you know, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
Girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, you know, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the
Guys and girls, okay? You can't leave out the sisters.
crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, you know, they just shoved me. And he asked them, he was like, yo, don't shove her. Who shoved her? And as soon as he said that, everything went crazy.
So the brother tried to defend his snow bunny's honor. Damn. And then they just jumped on him, man. I mean, you're not going to win. You're just outnumbered. I don't know why he even tried to walk through that. I guess he was woke before, trying, you know, to be inclusive in his walking path. You know, you never know, but I would have just waited it out. If they was in front of the apartment, I'm waiting it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not even worth it. But guys, something bad is going to happen with these street takeovers, and it's only a matter of time. I mean, horrible things have already been happening, but this really just shows me that the community is a lost cause. I think Andrew Tate actually did Chicago, and he got some threats coming his way from Chicago, and you know, he was right. He was right. I mean, Chicago has already gone to hell in a handbasket. It's, you know, just heating up.
You know, they said they're going to kill us. They turned around and, you know, started fighting, you know.
So sorry
I got pushed down to the ground, and yeah, I got pushed down to the ground, and the whole group of people went to DJ, not me. Like, I have a lot less injuries than he does because I was more of a bystander than anything, but everyone went for him.
They did yank her up, though, quickly.
And it ended up in the middle of the street. They were jumping him in the middle of the street. It got pretty bad.
And they say a good Samaritan gave them.
Damn, I mean, he must be embarrassed. How does your girl look at you after that incident? You know, the respect is pretty much gone. That's why you got to avoid situations like this where you can just be blatantly embarrassed, because, man, I mean, it looks like she's staying down, but, you know, it could try the relationship for sure.
Shoes drove them to the hospital where they were treated for minor injuries, then drove them home that night. No one is in custody in that attack.
It was just absolutely random. We didn't know anybody. We were just trying to walk through a group of people.
Caught up in a mob, two out-of-towners sharing their story after being beaten by teens downtown on Saturday.
A key part of the story, the Good Samaritan who stepped in to help.
Anthony Pause is live with more tonight. Anthony?
Yes, Corey, and on this attack happened here on the 100 block of North Wabash Avenue Saturday night. It could have ended way worse had it not been for the intervention of a truly good Samaritan, who says that the video of this attack that went viral over the weekend really only captures the tail end of what she describes as a brutal attack. The victims here, a couple visiting from out of town. They're in their early 20s, staying in an Airbnb. They were out to dinner, just trying to enjoy their night.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, you know, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
Girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, you know, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, you know, they just shoved me.
The mob attack happened right near me.
Woo, guys. I mean, it's pretty much OV. And you heard what they said. Nobody in custody. The street code is in full effect. No snitching rule. I mean, it's OV. It is OV, bro.
Macy's Wabash Street entrance.
And it was a mob of about 60 to 100 people.
You know, they said they're going to kill us. They turned around and, you know, started fighting, you know.
They were shoeless. They didn't have they were looking for their phones, but it was no point because the phones had been taken away.
Both the victims and Lenora Dennis, the woman who came to their aid, say that several Chicago police officers passed by but did not intervene.
He got him one though. You know, Snow Bunny, cute. She looking good, but damn, it's a tragedy for bro, for sure, man. Imagine getting your behind beat, like jumped crazy like that. I mean, she got to understand that one.
Cops drove right by it. Act like they didn't see anything.
I literally went out into the street and stopped and held my hands up to a police car and asked them to stop and motioned them over to what was going on. And they just cut a path around me and just kept going.
She was eventually.
Woo! Yeah, I mean, this is what y'all asked for. Defund the police. Why? I mean, why should they care at this point? And that's genuinely sad that the police have gotten to this point where they're like, man, what are they going to do? You can't arrest them, right? You can't shoot them. You can't tase them. You can't lay a finger on them. These super teen gremlins are on demon time.
Actually able to get the couple into her car. Then she drove them to the police station.
Got told by the desk sergeant that this was going to happen. It was going to keep happening because Brandon Johnson got elected. That floored me.
An ambulance then took them to the hospital.
And he was elected. That floored me. You asked for this. Who'd you vote for? Right? Let's really ask her, who'd you vote for? Do you regret your vote? I mean, we got to start shaming people for their vote. Honestly, I mean, it's gotten to that point. I know they say, you know, when you're with your family, you don't talk about religion and politics. Hey, well, we need to start bringing the topic up and start shaming people who are voting for guys like Brandon Johnson, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, because it's like I said, it's OV, and there's going to be a drastic response in political leadership later on down the line. I think we have about 10 more years of real just rampant crime, maybe even 20. It's only going to increase, and then eventually there's going to be a bubbling and it's going to brew, and then there's just going to be some guy who's saying all the right things, and he's going to say he's going to put his foot down on these on this criminality, and it's going to be a whole generation swept up, honestly. And you know, at this point it's like rightfully so, because if you can't control your children, then you can't control their outcomes or their future outcomes. And you know, if you're not keeping an eye on them and really implementing morals, like these kids, they're acting like it's not that they don't know, but you know, the difference between right and wrong. They just don't care and they want to do wrong. That's why I'll continue to say, sisters, come get your kids, because these super teen gremlins are on demon time.
But the couple was without their phones, wallets, and shoes, which had all been stolen during the attack.
I told the couple that I was going to go home to find them some shoes so that they wouldn't be barefoot for the rest of the night.
Her name is Lenore.
Wow. She gave us shoes, took us home, took us to the hospital.
Her husband as well.
Thank you.
Just do unto others. And that's a mantra that I live by every day, is just do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
And shout out to that sister for, she looked kind of blazing, honestly, but shout out to her for helping them out. It's gonna be a lot more of this, and they're lucky that they got out with their lives. Guys, you want to avoid these major cities. Hey, I'm in Atlanta right now, and I'm trying to avoid it, as much as I can. So it is what it is.
And despite her criticism of the police response downtown, she says that detectives at the police station who took the police report were great and did a very thorough job. An investigation into that attack is now underway, but so far, no one is in custody. We are live in the loop tonight. Anthony Ponce, Fox 32, Chicago.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Ms. Lenore.
Wow. She gave us shoes,
And
took us home, took us to the hospital.
Her husband as well.
Thank you.
A couple visiting Chicago last weekend found themselves at the center of a chaotic crowd. And without a moment of hesitation, a local woman came to their aid. We all know her now as Lenore Dennis, and she's joining me now to share her story. Sister, you deserve all of the flowers. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, she does. It just goes to show that, there are people out here who are willing to be that good Samaritan, but there's one of her and then thousands of just super horrible, super shitty, excuse my French, super gremlins on demon time.
Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm really happy to be able to have this discussion with you. We've seen the videos, and there's just been more and more videos throughout the week that we've seen from last weekend. What was going through your mind when you saw what was going on in real time, and why did you rush in?
Once I saw that we weren't going to get any other intervention, and I mean, security guards in the area, the police, whatever that iteration of help would be.
And it is what it is, man. I don't even fault the police for just walking away, because this is what y'all asked for. And that's the darn truth about it all. It's what y'all asked for, man. So it's sad that it's come to this, but this is what it is.
That's when I knew that I was going to have to step in to get them, the couple, out of that situation.
Yeah, were you concerned about your own safety?
I probably thought about it. My daughter, you know how the children say that, Mom, you're doing too much. That went across my brain. So yeah, I thought about it in that way, but then just like I ignore my daughter all the time, I ignore her.
Yeah, when I was looking at that, I thought about that. Like, I have friends who have teenagers. I'm at an age where I could have a teenager. And would they see me as a mother figure stepping in, or would I get hurt too? You and your bravery have been commended all week, as should be. But you said you tried to get help. Talk about that.
Well, when the melee started, during the whole time, it went on, the whole episode, excuse me, went on for about 10 minutes. And when it first started, the police cars kept going. So I'm like, okay, there must be rushing to other situations that are happening. But there were other people who I could see in my peripheral calling the police. And I'm yelling out to them, are you guys calling the police? And they're like, yeah, I'm calling the police. But then the police cars, you know, just kept zooming past. And I'm like, well, I know they're getting dispatched to this spot. So why aren't they stopping? So finally, when I saw a car coming, before, you know, I just walked out in the street and I put my hands up in front of the car in an effort to force them to stop. And I motioned there, you know, me and the cop locked eyes, and I told him, I said, we need help over here, right here. And he looked over there, looked at me, and then he cut around and drove.
I mean, it's one cop to hundreds of super teen gremlins on demon time. And your hands are tied behind your back. I mean, really, as a cop, what can you really do? And definitely don't let it be a white cop. He go over there and try and put hands on any of them. For one, they'll probably beat the shit out of them, honestly. You know, if we're really being, you know, truthful about it. And then he'd be forced to obviously shoot one of them, and then they'll, you know, they're really just I see this as all this rioting and all this stuff, these flash mobs. I see it as another form of the assisted self-deletion or self-deletion by cop method to get a check. This could be, you know, and it could be a subconscious thing in these young teens' minds that they're just like, okay, we know we can barely get in trouble, and subconsciously, if we do get in trouble, we can just say, oh, well, something racist happened. And then they'll be on the news. Well, I wasn't even part of it. I was just walking, and it'll just be some. So you can't win for losing. I don't blame the cop. I mean, honestly, shout out to him, you know, because he's just trying to keep his job. He's just trying to make sure that he can finish whatever time he got left with the police force and get his pension without getting fired, you know, with no pay, and then getting convicted of a crime and all this kind of stuff. I mean, what are they supposed to do?
By, so that's when I said, okay, this is not going to end until something happens.
Yeah. So there is an internal investigation now into the officer's actions or inaction there. Have you been in contact with that couple again? What did they say to you in those moments when you were trying to get them to help?
They were, I mean, DJ was concussed.
Damn.
Visibly concussed. He could not lock eyes with me.
Dang, bro. They could have gave that boy brain damage. It's crazy.
Obviously, he was irate about what had just happened. He was confused. He was yelling, you know, just Ashley was hysterical, crying, trying to get her to just calm down, trying to get them, corral them together to just move in unison to just get out of there. It was just, and while I was doing that, I'm literally yelling at DJ, like, get yourself together, snap out of it. You got to get out of the, you got to get out of this situation. And as I was telling him that,
yeah, just snap out of, you know, brain trauma. Just snap out of it.
Another group or the same group, a few less of them came back around the corner and started beating them again.
Damn.
And that's when I said, okay, I gotta get them physically out of this situation.
Wow. So,
and at this point, like, how do you not just? This is why we this is why we need a Kyle Rittenhouse in this situation, bro. Because how do you not justify just mowing the mob down? I mean, honestly, and I'm not advocating for that or anything, but the thought had to cross. I mean, any person who has any type of tactical mind, the thought would cross your mind and say, hey, you know, why don't we just pull up and, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, geez, bro, there's no stopping them.
as there's now the thought, the threat, the possibility of round 2 of teens taking over downtown again, what's your message to these teenagers?
You all need to talk to us. I mean, I know it seems like,
What the entire bleep, bro? Talk to us? You think after all this time, do you think they can even formulate a coherent sentence? You're giving them too much credit. This is, bro, she did a good thing, so I'm not gonna spaz on her, you know, but that's too soft. We need to talk to them. No, just lock them up. Save us the trouble.
I mean, they want to be in the life. They want to be outside. They want to follow and emulate these images and these people that they follow.
Images of who? But, you know, hip hop has.
So it is what it is.
Yo, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Trying to get my camera straight. Sorry, I don't know why it's tripping. Hold up. The hell? Can y'all hear me or not? Hold on. Hold on. Let me leave and come right back. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Hold on. Yeah, YouTube, they definitely don't jinx me, bro. They don't jinx me. But anyways, guys, we got to talk about Chicago again. They wilding out here in Chicago. It's just crazy. We've already covered the flash mobs in Chicago, which you guys just saw there. If you want to watch the full video, go back to that one. It was a good episode, if I do say so myself. But guys, you have the immigrants who are being bussed into Chicago. The money is being funneled into helping the immigrants, or the illegal aliens rather, get settled into the United States, as we see this replacement theory actually pan out. But it's a gradual replacement, and it's first supposed to be a replacement of the community, all right? Because we're the most perishable, all right? We're the ones who have no unity at this moment, okay? And it's wild. It's wild. And the funny thing is, they voted it in, man. Isn't that the worst part? When you ask for something and you get it, and then you don't like what you asked for? Isn't that the worst part? Well, that's what's happening to the community right now. You know, voting Democrat all these years have just, I mean, it's just stabbed the community in the heart. And we're not going to learn when the 2024 elections come. We will be voting blue once again. So let's get into the money part first. because we always got to follow the money. We always got to follow the money. So let's watch this news story when we're going to get a raw reaction, guys. I'm not holding back anymore, man. I'm demonetized, so fuck it. You know, I might as well just say what's on my mind.
Where's the 51 million going? That's going to last us only to the end of next month. And what happens July 1st when we're broke again?
Frustration boiled over during a fiery city council meeting as residents and aldermen disagreed on how taxpayer dollars should be used when it comes to migrants.
Ultimately, $51 million in funding was approved to help care for asylum seekers in our city.
$51 million was approved. Now, damn, 51 million? That could have went toward reparations, right? Damn, and they're just handing it out to the illegal aliens, which they're calling migrants. Because we got Governor Abbott, he ain't playing. He's sending bus loads of immigrants or illegal aliens. And we all know that, you know, they're not sending their best. Okay? That's something that we do know. And even if Border Patrol is doing all that they can, I mean, I've seen videos where they weren't doing all that they can at all. It's almost like they have a stand down order on the border. I'm almost certain that they've been given some type of stand down order because the videos that I've seen, they're not trying to stop them. As a matter of fact, they're assisting them in coming right over to the States. So, community, it's over, bro. I already told you guys, if we didn't get our act together in 2020, I mean, 2020 was really the year, but we really showed our ass. So then I was going, okay, 2021, 2022, start chilling on the murders, but it's only gone up. So, yeah, man, and they're only getting more gruesome by the day. I mean, all these stories, I pass up on a lot of stories just because I don't have the time to cover everything. And I'm trying to stay consistent, go every day. But I do need y'all support. So hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal. You already see that I have the links at the bottom on the banner. If you want to donate to the Cash App, if you want to donate to the PayPal, that would be greatly appreciated. I will read your donations. I do not have super chats or super traps rather, as you guys know. I'm completely demonetized. So anything can help. Also, hit the GoFundMe if you want to support independent media, alternative media, so that we can dethrone the legacy media. So let's keep going.
Casey Cronus has the story now from City Hall.
Passed in a 34-13 vote. That money.
She's great.
Money will go toward housing, food, and other resources for new arrivals. But the decision did not come without contentious debate.
The bottom line is we're a sanctuary city. We've been bragging about it forever. We did nothing to prepare for it.
Since last August, more than 8,000 migrants have been dropped off in Chicago from the Texas border, with shelters and respite sites overrun.
Families have been living on the floor in police stations. This is unacceptable.
But those opposed to a massive budget amendment are questioning how the city can suddenly come up with so much money for new visitors when local communities remain neglected and homeless individuals are sleeping on the street.
Yeah, and that's a great point. But they came up with that bread. You heard the glider. He said, we are a sanctuary city. We've been raving about it for years, and now it's time to pay up on that sanctuary, okay? You finna lift your hands in the sanctuary and let all the illegal aliens into the state of Illinois and to congregate in Chicago. I mean, it's gonna get bad, guys. It's gonna get bad because tensions are bubbling, especially between the community and the communitino, okay? And honestly, I don't think this is if they keep bringing in the numbers that they bringing in, I don't think that this is a battle that we can win. I really don't. Okay, I got to look at the Chicago demographics really quickly, but I don't know if this is a battle that we can win. If they keep busting them in 8,000 a pop every week, bam, 8, just boom, 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 bust them out. I don't think this is a battle we can win. The Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the BDs, whatever the fuck. Them niggas, they're deleting each other. They're killing each other. So, I mean, it's like, goddamn. What are we gonna do? What are we going to do? You know? So let me pull up these demographics and we'll see if the numbers add up.
How dare this mayor and city council have the guts to give migrants $51 million?
During the city council.
Woo! So you heard what he said, and he's going right at the mayor that he most likely voted for. Either that or he didn't vote at all, because we know he didn't vote for a Republican. So we're looking at the percentages of, and I want to get the actual numbers, but for the city of Chicago, it's not looking good. We got 45% white, and then we have 29% black, 28% Hispanic or Latino. So this is an asserted effort to make Hispanic and Latino the #1 minority. That means we come second because there are more of them than us. Right now, there are more of us than them, but if they come 8,000 by the week, bang, bingo, bango, bongo, just bringing them in like that, busload after busload after busload, we're losing. It's over. We can't compete with those numbers because black women are aborting. They're aborting as many illegal aliens, or they're aborting as many fetuses as, or whatever, clump of cells, whatever the fuck they want to call it. They're aborting as many black kids as they're bringing in immigrants. You see what I'm saying? So maybe that's why they justified throwing out that 51 million, because it's like, shit, what was y'all gonna do with it? Y'all was gonna flush it down the toilet, you know? Throw out the baby with the bathwater. No pun intended. But yeah, I just don't think that we can. I mean, if in Chicago, the battle is going to be lost, at least in Chicago. And in Chicago is just a testing ground, because you can do whatever the fuck you want in Chicago at this point. Politicians or, you know, civilians, thugs, whatever you want to call it, you're getting away with shit. You can get away with catching a body in Chicago, no cap. Like, and I'm not saying you should do that, but that's what's happening. So let me get the actual numbers. We got it as a percentage, but I want to see how close they are and how many more they need to eclipse the community.
Council meeting, the public weighed in.
We have not gotten anything for our community. And we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Enough is enough. And I voted for you, Brandon.
With tensions running high.
You heard it. I voted for you. You think he gives a fuck? You think he gives a fuck? Black Lives Matter, women of faith, justice, and freedom is a constant something. So, you know, she's rocking the fro. She's very woke. And she voted for a Democrat. And now he's giving away 51 million. I mean, it's not his call alone, right? But he's giving away 51 million to illegal immigrants. Most of them being single mothers. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, at least it might be a lot of, and that's going to even cause tension in the dating scene, because now, okay, you got them single mothers and, you know, bros, they going to pull up for the fruit snacks and the tortillas. So, I mean, what's going to happen when these essays start figuring out these brothers is smacking their women down, or vice versa? And by smacking down, I mean fucking, not like actually beating them up. But they might beat their ass too. You never know. They might beat their ass too. Okay. But of course she voted for Brandon. All right. Let's go, Brandon, right? She voted for him. So I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry. Who in the chat feels sorry? Put a 1 in the chat if you don't feel sorry for her. Who feels sorry for her? I voted for you, Brandon. Do you think he gives a damn? I mean, seriously. Just think about it. Think about it. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens. And it's hilarious to see how the tables just turn. I mean, it's bad for the group, yes, but it's kind of funny as well because you're just over here ranting and raving and the Black Lives Matter. Bro, it was a scam. It was a scam. That's like me rocking an Enron shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you got to stop. I don't give a fuck what the words together means. Right? It's just like, come on, bro. Y'all gotta. If you still rocking the Black Lives Matter shit after all this time, after everything that has been uncovered, I can't do nothing with you, bro. Because you can't even get over your emotions about a phrase that has nothing to do with what went on and what's still going on. Like, guys, we read the lawsuit on live between Black Lives Matter Grassroots and Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. People don't even know that they have infighting. It's like denominations. It's different denominations in Black Lives Matter. You got the Catholic denomination. You got the Baptist denomination. You got the Episcopal denomination. You got the Methodist denomination of Black Lives Matter. And obviously you don't. I'm just using, different denominations in the Christian faith as an example. Guys, you got different in-groups in Black Lives Matter, and they don't get along, and they don't agree. And one person says, yo, on Black Lives Matter. The other one's saying, yeah. It's like a gang. It's like you got, the, what is it? The fucking Rolling 60s Crips in LA. And then you got, I don't know, some other Crip set or whatever. And they're both fighting, but they're both Crips. And it's like, bro, what the fuck is going on? So that's what we got going on in Black Lives Matter. Who would have thought? But she voted for this. And, just the fact that she's rocking the Black Lives Matter shirt, I'm surprised she don't got a mask on.
And I voted for you, Brandon.
With tensions running high, arguments and interruptions were frequent.
I would ask that she would do it with some level of decorum.
Boy, this nigga, oh man, this is probably the greatest finesse ever. He gets to be, black male mayor. He gets like all the accolades, and really he's just boom, sweeping the rug up from under the community. And they're gonna call me a coon, but they won't call Brandon a coon. Damn, this is crazy.
I believe that we can have public discourse without demonstrating the worst part of our debates.
That $51 million covers the remainder of a projected $102 million that it will cost the city to care for migrants through the end of June, with the rest coming from the state and federal governments. But it's unclear what will happen when this money runs out. Reporting from City Hall, Casey Cronis, Fox 32, Chicago.
Yep. And it has begun. So, guys, we're in a whole heap of trouble. We're in a whole heap of trouble. Bro, how the fuck and they started with, remember, they started bringing in the Ukrainian migrants or refugees. Remember, they started off pulling the Ukrainian shit, and it's like, okay, yeah, let's have some Ukrainian hoes pull up or whatever. You know, they got the men fighting. We'll take their women and come to the U.S. and get fucked, right? But now it's like a whole different level. Because I ain't gonna cap. I spoke to somebody who, you know, is he has family who is who are immigrants, legal or illegal. And it is true. They aren't sending their best. And you're probably getting at least, I used to say 30, but I'll say like 15%, 20%, you know, damn near mules for the cartel. I mean, it is what it is. They're doing their business. I mean, they're the biggest fucking, that's the only mafia that has really stood the test of time, the cartels, because goddamn, they ain't playing. It's you chop one head off and then another one appears, and woo, man, that's a whole other situation. But let's keep going.
There's more and more coming, and they're attracting people from here, coming here, driving here.
Chicago's hotel industry is looking for solutions to help migrants get work.
But at one downtown hotel.
Bro, did y'all see all them damn single mothers, bro? And all them damn kids. Woo! Mujeres, come get your kids.
Is looking for solutions to help migrants get work.
But at one downtown hotel, neighbors say they've seen nothing but problems.
Tia Ewing went to see for herself.
This is one of the last known locations that migrants were.
Hey, yo, shout out to Chaotic Truth Live. He says, yo, what's good, bro?
Calling home temporarily. The inn of Chicago right here off of O'Hare and St. Clair. And it's come with a really costly stay, over $60 million.
Oh, this that super thick news anchor. When she in that dress, that joint go crazy. I ain't gonna cap.
Dollars in state funding. And as of right now, there's a push to actually get these asylum seekers jobs, and they could be getting employment right here at this hotel. This is the legislation first introduced in February.
Well, I mean, got them in the hotel. The hotel's getting cheap labor, so I mean, they're getting what they want. You know, the businesses, they're gonna do fine. Maybe not the black businesses, obviously. Unless they find a way to take advantage of these illegal aliens, not in a nefarious way, but take advantage of the labor and the willingness to work, because I ain't even gonna cap. It really is hard to hire Americans running a business and trying to hire Americans who are gonna work hard and actually give a damn about the job. I'm not saying it's impossible, because obviously we got a lot of hardworking Americans. We got a lot of hardworking Malcolms out here in these streets, but it is difficult, and it's hard to keep them, you know, as well, even if you pay them good. But anyways, guys, they are housing them in the hotel, in exchange for housing them, getting very cheap, if not free labor. That's the game plan. So when I told you about the economic side of it, guys, we got the 51 million going to housing and employing immigrants, and, you know, giving them basically welfare state, for a small welfare state for the illegal immigrants, and they busting them in, about to take over the black population. Remember, we looked at the percentage, and percentage-wise, they're right behind us at 28.7%. We're at 29.2%. Guys, this is real, and this is at your front doorstep. And guess what? You voted for it. You begged for it. You practically got on your knees, and you damn near sold your soul for it. Black people sold their soul to get these illegal aliens in this motherfucker. Even the Pan-Africans and all the guys who were Black First and B1 and all these guys, bro, they were on the same shit, supporting immigrants or illegal aliens. And I'm not saying everybody who's coming over the border, you know, doesn't have good intentions, but they don't deserve what we have. They don't, bro. They're not a citizen. No matter how shitty your situation is, shit, you better find another fucking country. You dig what I'm saying? Like, goddamn. But anyways, let's keep going.
of 2023, proposing that an asylum seeker would be able to work in 30 days. Right now, the legal process is in several months to get employment in the U.S.
Right now, a lot of them want to work, but they have to wait 6 to 9 months just to get approval to work.
Michael Jacobson is
And I'm telling you right now, they still are working.
the president and CEO of the Illinois Hotel
And they're out working the community. See, this is the problem. They're coming, they're pulling up, and they're out working the community. Whether they're doing nefarious things or not, at the end of the day, their shit has always been way more organized than our shit. And that's the sad part, you know. Niggas can't even like move work the right way because you got too much infighting and there's no control. I'm gonna tell you right now, like them motherfuckers, if they are, well, I mean, it's not a if. When they send the what Trump says, when they're not sending their best, when they send those guys who are, you know, cartel mules or whatever, or even bosses or whatever, jefes, when they send these guys over here, they mean business. So they're not really getting crossed out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no run off on the plug. Yeah, niggas like rapping about that shit, but you're not running off on the Mexican plug. You'll run off on a black plug, yeah, all day. And a white boy who's, you know, selling ounces, hell yeah, all day. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to run off on these guys. Because the guy, he knows the other guy, and the guy, he knows that guy. I mean, they're going to get you, bro. So that's all I'm saying. And there will be some sly guys who, you know, probably some niggas from O Block who try and test the waters, and they're going to run into the wrong shit. And, you know, we're going to find somebody's remains, you know, doing a Harlem Shake or some shit in a lake. I mean, it's going to be fucked up, but that's what's going on, bro. That's what's going on. And I'm trying to break it down from the street level too, because a lot of people, they don't understand that aspect. They're just like, oh, well, all the money's going to the immigrants. Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, they might be broke over there in Mexico, but when they come over here, they get to work, man.
Lodging Association. He was recently in D.C. advocating for the bill. It would minimize the burden on employers during a historic labor shortage, including the hotel industry.
We have 1,600 open positions in hotels just in the city of Chicago today, and we have thousands of migrants looking to work.
What the fuck? So let me get this straight. They have 1,600 open positions and no black men or women are applying for those jobs. Run it back.
Shortage, including the hotel industry.
We have 1,600 open positions in hotels just in the city of Chicago today, and we have thousands of migrants looking to work.
This is where we were supposed to come in. This is what we were supposed to come in. Oh, but being a maid is working for the slave master, right? Being a janitor, being a elevator technician is working for the man, right? I mean, those are our jobs. Those are our jobs. Those are the jobs that we were supposed to get, that we were supposed to be applying for, that we were supposed to be eligible for. What are y'all doing in Chicago? They have 1,600 vacant positions. See, but this is the problem. Y'all niggas be trying to set people up. Y'all working as a maid. You got, you know, Shanae, she working as a maid. She go house cleeping, honey. She go in. She see the nigga or somebody, anybody got some bread, got some jewelry. You know, they sending a nigga in a Pooh Shiesty mask through the hotel, giving him a key card, and then he jugging like 3 different hotel rooms. See, and then that's why y'all ass get fired. I mean, but 60. I mean, damn. I know we got more than 1,600 rappers who could use that damn job, right? I mean, those are theoretically, those should be our jobs, but here's the reality. We don't want those jobs. Y'all ain't ready for that one. I mean, we could have much lower unemployment rates if we just bit the bullet, swallowed the pride, and took that damn job. Because unfortunately, a lot of black people think those jobs are beneath them. But there ain't nothing wrong with being a janitor. There ain't nothing wrong with being a elevator technician. There ain't nothing wrong with being a skyscraper window cleaning specialist. Those guys make good money. Those guys make good money, and you just have to be willing to take some risk, some calculated risk. Understand how long you're going to be in this. I mean, if you're cleaning windows on the side of a skyscraper, yeah, it takes balls. It takes balls, but those jobs pay. They pay, and I see the Mexicans doing it. They like 5 foot tall. They trying to reach the top of the window. They trying to reach the top of the window, nigga. And yo 6'5" ass, you could wax on, wax off, be done in 3 or 4 strokes, be done by lunchtime. But we don't want to do them jobs, bro. There never was a shortage of jobs. They keep trying to say that. There never was. There never was. That's the problem. And you don't even need a GED to do some of these jobs. You don't even need a GED. Shit is crazy. Let me read some of these chats, though. Want to get you guys in the chat involved, rather. Soft Serve says, wake up, show up on time, and complete the work. Impossible. Woo! And that's a whole other thing. Goddamn. Oh, man. H says, but black women don't want to give the pussy to no bus drivers, only the scammers and the D-boys. Unless you, what did that lady say? She said, if he owns the bus, you got to own the bus now. Goddamn. Major DZ says that one hotel in New York City employees said 5 kids a day born in the temp housing hotel. Remember GWF Hegel's words, history uses people, then discards them. Tim Asuna says those elevators must smell like cheetah pee, though. Cheetah pee. Shout out to Chaotic Truth Life. He says, bro, you are doing an incredible job. I appreciate that. What About says that's house nigga work. Georgia Swan. I mean, at least you ain't got to be out there in the heat. You might have to, muscle through some windy days. Now that could be frightening. You up there and it's a windy ass day in Chicago, and you cleaning off the side of a skyscraper. Whew, man, I mean, you got to have some big balls to do that. And Georgia Swan says if they paid $30 per hour, those positions wouldn't be open. Cut the income and payroll tax. Yeah, man. Guys are making some great points.
But neighbors say here at Inn of Chicago, there's a big problem with the work some migrants are already doing.
They're hanging out on the sidewalks. They're hanging out in the alleys. People have been solicited, including myself.
Solicited for what?
Prostitution.
Yes.
We just
woo! And the women over here, they getting back to, they natural element. See, what a lot of y'all don't understand, and shout out to the Passport Bros, but a lot of those women are natural, like they're natural prostitutes. Like that's their bread and butter. So a lot of the women coming over, yeah, they got kids and they look like they a mom and whatever. But they really, you know what I'm saying? Let me get this pussy off for 400 in this back alley real quick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it ain't no pimps. It ain't nobody forcing them. It ain't no fucking human trafficking. No, they bringing their ass over here because they like shit. Them niggas in Mexico, they pay $25 for the pussy. Niggas in Chicago, they pay $2,500 for the pussy off rip. See, that's what y'all don't understand, man. Y'all just don't get it, bro. But it's a lot of human trafficking. And okay, for sure. Yeah, they might pick out, 2 peas in a pot. I'm not saying that they don't be picking out little immigrant kids and, trying to have some brown babies or whatever and do some wicked shit with. I'm not saying that they don't do that. But what I am saying, though, is the overwhelming majority of the trafficking and bro, these hoes selling pussy off rip, like, off the strength, off the muscle. Like that's just, it's natural to them, especially in their home country. And I'm not saying that that's all they're worth and that's whatever. I'm just saying that's what they do. That's what they do. Oh, niggas saying the rate of the pussy is 40. God damn. Okay, the number's been going down tremendously. Shit. Hey, the Mexican bitches, they trying to undercut the market because you know them Chicago hoes, they gonna ask at least 300. Yeah, it's 300 for some head, honey. And then they gonna be patting their weed the whole time in the strip club. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They, bro, they done dropped the price. They done undercut your ass. Nigga said it's 40. It's 40. Well, shit. They might deserve 51 million.
It's going to keep it real.
We reached out to Governor Pritzker's office to see how much the hotel stays are costing the state. Governor Pritzker's office says there were over 2,000 migrants sheltering in 12 hotels as of April 25th.
Woo! 2,000 plus migrants. And they're only bringing in more. The other one just said they brought in 8 bands worth of migrants. Guys, they are about to outnumber us. They are about to outnumber us.
98% of those people moved to independent housing. In January, $90 million from the Illinois General Assembly was helping to provide care for the migrants, including many.
God damn, it went from 51 to 90 million. See them, the real numbers. They done brought out the real numbers, guys. Shit.
Chicago. Over $60 million of that was used for hotel shelter services, including staffing and rooms. We did reach back out to the governor's office to get clarification on if all the migrants moved out of the hotels and didn't get an answer. And of Chicago's website says they are temporarily closed until July of 2023. Residents say.
And how much you want to bet out of these migrants? It's going to be a little rapper to come up soon, very soon. One of these little Mexican rappers. He gonna be doing drill at first and then transition into Spanish pop. Yo, it's gonna be a little rapper. They're gonna be like, oh, illegal alien success story. Oh God.
They hope something changes soon.
So the police can't do anything about it because the lady there was telling me when the police come in, they can't arrest them because they have no documentation.
Man, and oh, I mean, they've got loopholes. Y'all, the women in Chicago, y'all can't compete. It's over. Y'all got Consuelo out here and she undercut the price for pussy. It's over. You can't compete. The game, yeah, it's over. Somebody gonna scoop some of these hoes up too. Go ahead and marry them. Give them citizenship. It's OV, bro. Wow.
The state of Illinois has spent over $150 million to assist asylum seekers since August of 2022. Tia Ewing, Fox 32, Chicago.
There you have it, man. Woo. Let me get these actual numbers. So I got the U.S. Census Bureau, but they're doing it by percentage and not by number, unless I'm. Yeah, no. All right, let me play the next video and then I'll break down some of these numbers, guys. It's but there's gonna be tension in the streets, guys. And that's the element that we talk about. We talk about the streets, and they be, oh, you can't talk about the streets. Jen Quavies, you can't talk about the streets. Yes, I can. Because I could probably reference more stories than any of y'all street niggas in reality. But anyways, let's keep going.
On Memorial Day in their new adopted city, migrants linger in the shade outside a newly opened Northwest Side shelter. Wright College is supposed to be a home just for the summer.
We were told there'd be nobody here till June the 1st. They're already here. So if the city lied.
I mean, who gives a fuck? They came May, June. Who cares? They had to. They're coming, bruh. They shouldn't have been able to come in the first place. Like, just arguing the date is at this point, it's just semantics.
About the day they're going to get here. Are they lying about when they're going to leave?
This is an absolute slap in the face to those who come here.
After a fiery meeting late last week, the city opened the doors to the temporary community shelter on Sunday. They are now some of the nearly 4,500 migrants sleeping in city-sanctioned shelters across Chicago. Many of them have next to nothing to their name. At the sight of something new, small children scampered to Jimena Moriano as she doled out a few tiny toys into their waiting hands.
I turned the corner and I saw the kid sitting in the grass, and I'm like, I gotta go get them bubbles.
A mother of 3 grown children, Moriano says she couldn't just pass by.
We're all human beings, so I think everybody needs to realize that we just have to help each other.
Chicago is now home to more than 9,000 migrants, and the city says more than 550 are still living on police station floors. Alderman Nicholas Pizzato wants federal work permits for migrants expedited.
They want to work. They're not here to live in shelters or sponge off of America. Give them an opportunity to work.
Still, Pizzato plans to vote against.
Do they get it though? Like they get that, you know? I mean, I know a lot of people love saying, "Oh, nobody wants to do those jobs. Nobody wants to do those jobs." Yeah, these young black men who are in the streets killing each other, they need those jobs. Whether they want to do them or not, no, they need to be forced to do those jobs somehow, some way. The competent ones, though, I mean, it'll be tough to get them to do those jobs, honestly, like in good faith. I mean, fuck it. It's wild. We just dropped the ball. That's all. I mean, we just dropped the ball because those should be our jobs, and you can always grow from those jobs. I mean, it's just a job. But those should be ours. They're not. We dropped the ball. We lost the opportunity. Those 1,600 jobs, the other jobs that they're going to produce or that have been sitting there vacant and now going to be taken up by immigrants. I mean, those were our jobs, but it's over now. Okay. It's over now.
Against a $51 million plan to fund shelters and migrant services like this one in his ward. For the same reason, many don't want migrant shelters in their neighborhoods.
If that $51 million was for all homeless people, I certainly would support it. But since it's only for asylum seekers, I do not support it.
The city says this temporary shelter at Wright College is supposed to stay open until August 1st, but some people in this neighborhood are questioning that timeline. City Council is scheduled to vote on that $51 million funding for migrants on Wednesday.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to.
All right, so we got the numbers here. It is not looking good. So we've got according to this 2020 census in Chicago, we have 788,732 African Americans living in Chicago. And then we have 779,000 Latinos who are living in Chicago. Woo! I mean, it's crazy. Or I guess they're like actual residents. There's more people actually living there though now, of course. But I mean, it's what do? You know, the jobs are gone. Let's just say that. So the jobs, it's over. Okay. Man, I'm just curious to see how this all pans out.
Another meeting is planned tonight to discuss a proposal to make Daly College a respite center for hundreds of migrants.
Chicago City Council, of course, we know approved $51 million to support migrants. And the debate continues. ABC 7 political analyst Laura Washington is here to talk more about it. Laura, good morning to you. Good morning. $51 million is expected to last 30 days or so. Then what?
And that was quite a debate. It was very emotional, very chaotic.
30 days, 51 million down the drain. That'll be like, that's gonna happen tomorrow, guys. We're gonna feel that tomorrow, like boom. It's gonna be 30 days just like that.
In the city council, so there's a lot of disagreement about that money.
Yeah,
it's only going to last a month. The council has not decided how they will extend that money, if they can extend that money. They had to move some money around to get these dollars in, so it's a big question.
Well, can you give us any more information about where this money is coming from and where potentially more money might come if further appropriations are approved?
It was pulled out of other parts of the budget. Some money was readjusted in the current budget. The city council does not know where they're going to get the rest of the money from. There are other possible sources.
What the fuck? I don't even know where to get the rest of the money. Guys, we have idiots running the government. I mean, it's bad.
Versus the state of Illinois has legislated just last week some additional funds, but I think it's like $40 million or something like that. But all of that will not go to Chicago. And there's a lot of calls for the federal government to step up and bring more support in.
Now, we saw older people talk about this yesterday, how there are communities in this city that could use a funding package like that. And a lot of people nodding their heads. You know, what is a solution that satisfies all here? Is there a solution?
Well, they already wrote those communities that they're talking about, like Crenshaw, O Block, all that kind of stuff. They already wrote those off. Okay. Or not Crenshaw, but Inglewood, is it? I don't know, fucking. They already wrote y'all off. They already wrote y'all off, bro. It's over, man. Cause they're like, okay, if we throw that 51 million into the community, what's gonna? I mean, it's gonna be ate up tomorrow. I'm just saying. There was ample opportunity, and now it's pretty much OV. It's pretty much OV. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to pull up some more of this data. Let's keep going.
I think that that's going to be up to the mayor and city council to come up with some kind of a package. The mayor has said that he's dedicated to doing that. That's how he campaigned. He campaigned on having a holistic funding solution to the city's crises, and not just the immediate crises like the immigrant situation, but what's happening in our neighborhoods every day. So I'm looking to see what kind of a funding package he's going to propose to the city council next.
There's a lot to get done, though. Hard to do it all at once.
The crises just keep on rolling. And right now we've got this immediate issue of getting these migrants that are already here in a safe place. That's why they're looking at the right college situation. But that's just only a small part of the solution.
More to come. Laura Washington, good to see you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago.
Man. Woo! And the community is just, y'all just gonna have to bite the bullet, big dog. We just gotta bite the bullet at this point. I mean, we voted for this. I don't know what to say. I mean, at this point, there isn't really much to say. We took the L. We took the L. We lost our opportunity in Chicago to really, I mean, we had years to do it. Obviously, corruption on both sides. And we just didn't make it happen. Now it's the Mexicans' turn.
Aldermen are set to vote on a plan to devote $51 million to migrant housing. It's soliciting a passionate response. Joni Lum is live with some pretty tense moments during the debate. Not too surprising, Joni, given what we've heard.
Yes, and it's still going on. This ordinance of providing funding for asylum seekers has caused emotions to run high. The most vocal responses in a long time in city council. In fact, police had to move in at one point to calm the meeting. People attending the meeting shouted and they heckled the speakers during the public speaking portion of the meeting, whether advocating for funding migrant needs or for investment in Black and brown communities. One man, Tyrone Muhammad.
See, and that's where we fucked up, grouping us in with the brown shit. Look, whether you want to be called Black American or not, okay, cool, whatever. That's what we are on paper. So let's get over that for a second. But once you start the Black and brown community, and then you got Black talking heads, the Black and brown community, the Black and brown community, y'all did this. Y'all did this, grouping their issues with ours. That was y'all niggas. That was pro-Blacks. Even though they're supposed to be pro-Black, Black first, da-da-da-da. That was y'all niggas. Y'all leaders did that. Y'all did that. The Black and brown community, people of color. Bro, that was y'all doing. And then not only did that leak into the political sphere, but it leaked into the social sphere. Now, all people of color can say nigga. It used to not be like that. Now all people of color can say the N-word and got a pass. You got Asians who can say the N-word, saying the N-word got a pass. Niggas obviously saying the N-word got a pass. Mexicans out here saying the N-word got a pass. You got Filipino niggas out here saying the N-word getting a pass. So all the people of color get a pass to say the N-word. They immediately got their nigga pass when y'all started grouping in that black and brown, when y'all started grouping in that people of color. That's that shit, man. See? And it's all coming full circle now.
An ex-offender who was against the measure. Police removed him from the meeting. Longtime Chicagoans say it is difficult to watch leaders suddenly come up with $51 million for new immigrants when Chicago neighborhoods remain underserved.
It should not be housed in impoverished and marginalized black and brown communities where we have food shortages and homelessness.
I don't know if you've actually talked to these refugees who come here, but what they need are homes and jobs. The same.
No, LGBT white liberal comes in, and everything that he says trumps what the nigga says. Damn. The heterosexual black men can't even compete with the LGBT white male. That combination of minority hits different because he's the majority minority. Damn, they ate y'all up, bro. I ain't gonna cap. They eating the community the fuck up. From just the optics of this, because if this was a straight guy, black people might have got physical with this nigga outside of the lobby, but because he's LGBT, it's a hate crime. See, a lot of niggas were getting saved because they was just attacking white people at random, and black people can't be racist, so they don't consider it a hate crime. But you put your hands on a gay nigga or a gay white guy, you getting a hate crime, bro. And it's hard for niggas to hold that back. Like if you're beating a gay dude behind, no pun intended. If you beat him up though, if y'all, trading fisticuffs, that don't even sound right. But if you're fighting, engaged in a sparring battle or exhibition fight with a gay man, the black guy, he's not going to be able to hold the derogatory homosexual slurs back, especially if he's getting the best of them. Pause. Like he's not going to be able to hold them homophobic slurs back when he's beating his ass. Pause. Hey man, they trumped the card. This is a perfect play. It really is. My hat goes out to him. You can't do nothing but be like, damn, they got me.
That the people who live here need as well.
How dare this mayor and city council have the guts to give migrants $51 million? I demand you to have the same passion.
And it would hit different if it was $51 million for the year. That's just for 1 month. And they might re-up on that 51.
In urgency to pass the city of Chicago reparations orders.
Oh, hell. See, I told you that cut into the reparations shit. It's over. So let's see what she talking about.
Urgency to pass the city of Chicago reparations orders.
People should be treated with care and compassion so they can live their lives with dignity and respect. However, when recently arrived families are sleeping on the floors of police stations with nowhere to go, we know that Chicago is not living up to its values.
So she's advocating for the immigrants, and you heard the sisters and the black men in the background. They try to speak over her. They always try to make the city council meetings like fucking church. Like, wow, and all these fucking ad libs. Like, damn, shut the fuck up and let the bitch speak. Because if somebody's, you seen what the brother did when somebody's tried to interrupt, he said, boom, he put up his hand like, shut the fuck up. But then when everybody else speaking, now you got a wow and all these ad libs and nah, that ain't right. And man, y'all need to stop with all this. Damn, at least let the bitch speak. God.
And now the alderpersons are voicing their opinions before they vote. It started with 17 Ward Alderman David Moore, who said it breaks his heart to see this issue turn into a racial issue, though he is urging his colleagues to vote no on it. And Alderwoman Maria Haddon of the 49th Ward said being angry is not the right thing to do. She is urging the council to vote yes. Right now, they are still talking about it. They have not taken a vote just yet. Reporting live at City Hall, I'm Joni Lum. Now back to you.
Oh my God, man. Woo! Y'all damn voted for this. This is absolutely hilarious to watch. Like, they really turn these damn city's council meetings to fucking Sunday service, and they over here, you know, like just screaming over the pastor, like, oh man, Lord, we need some help, man. We need some milk for real. Community in Chicago, they need some milk.
Officials tonight said Daly College is an ideal location because it's move-in ready and a fraction of the cost of a hotel. But many
Damn, they're going to bring them into a college. A state-funded college at that. It's y'all tax dollars.
in the crowd didn't want to hear it.
When do citizens of the United States of America come first?
On the southwest side, city officials getting an earful.
Well, this, I'm going to stop you right there. Although this is, yes, it is a federal issue in regards to the border. Once you become a sanctuary city, this now becomes your own state issue. So, you know, you're talking about when the citizens come first of United States of America. If you look at that, the sanctuary city legislation, the citizens come first until them immigrants, you know, step foot on Chicago soil, and then they come first.
How about this? Give them all these politicians' addresses and put them in their backyards.
So she's taking the Governor Abbott approach, and she actually looks like she could be part of the Comunitino. And she's even saying, hey, man, get these illegals out, get them the fuck up out of here.
In their basements, in their houses.
This meeting at Richard J. Daley College comes as the city, starting as early as this weekend, prepares to use this gymnasium until August 1st and 2 auxiliary classrooms on the campus through the end of November to shelter more than 400 migrants.
This is about being human and providing humane spaces for them.
I serve my country. We need to give these immigrants a chance.
But the debate.
Damn, big dog. See, I mean, I get what he's saying, but isn't this next level cooning, respectfully, to the OG? You know, thank you for your service. But I mean, he's wearing a Muhammad Ali shirt, and Muhammad Ali refused to serve. So I don't know. This nigga's a whole walking contradiction, honestly. This God damn, didn't they lock Muhammad Ali up for refusing to serve? And then now he's over here rocking the Ali shirt and then talking about he served and give the immigrants a chance. This nigga is a walking contradiction. Like, I mean, at least have loyalty to your damn country if you don't have loyalty to your race, right? I mean, damn. But or vice versa, whatever. I don't fucking know. But my dog is just like scatterbrain in this bitch. What do you believe in, big dog? What do you believe in, big dog? Like shit. But anyways, the reality is, no, brother, we can't give these immigrants a chance. We can't give these immigrants a chance. I mean, the only thing I would be open to taking the single women with no kids. Cool. You know, bring them through. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like all these single mothers and they got teenage kids, nah, I'm straight on that. I'm good on that. If I was a resident of Chicago, of course. But I mean, I'm sure that they'll probably do something like that in Atlanta very soon. So we're up next, most likely, because a lot of people from Chicago are coming to Atlanta. And that's why, you know, niggas are even going even harder in these streets. But to a B1 individual, right? To a FBA or what is that other one? The other acronym, ADOS, Pan-Africanist, whatever. What he's saying is cooning, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he should not be saying what he's saying. Give the immigrants a chance? What? Nigga, how? Where?
My country. We need to give these immigrants a chance.
But the debate igniting anger about how the city for decades has treated its...
I get it as a chance to hop right back over the border. I mean, goddamn, if y'all can't work it out in Mexico, or, I mean, they go somewhere else too. They really could. There are plenty of other Spanish-speaking countries. I mean, I know this one's the closest, but shit. Well, we're not Spanish-speaking, but I mean, guys, what do you think? You know, if you go about it the right way, I'm cool with it. But once we just have like all these undocumented, the police can't even arrest the whores, which I don't see why you'd be arresting the whores, but the police can't even arrest the whores because they don't have papers. They don't have documentation. So they can't even, you know, bring them in for questioning and you know, see how many niggas have been inside them since they landed on, you know, free soil.
It's poor.
We do not take care of our own people. There's no resources taken from our shelter system and the housing within our shelter system, as well as outreach agencies.
And this is a black woman on, looks like the city council, and she is fighting and advocating for the immigrants. So y'all be putting these token women in, y'all be putting these people in. She's the bald-headed, you know, overweight black woman who's, you know, auntie vibes respectfully. And you put her in and you think that she has your best interests at heart. That's what they were trying to do with Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams would have made the same move, bro. Like, guys, what y'all understand is that these women, they don't believe in the same thing that you believe in. Like, once they're, okay, you know, once they're like heavily onto the abortion thing, I can understand if you just like, okay, there need to be really strict regulations on abortion, but I am pro-choice type shit. I can get that. But like these types of bitches, they're 100%. Yeah, if the baby's the third trimester and it's the mother's choice, these are the type of bitches that y'all be electing, especially black women. I mean, it is what it is. That's on y'all, honestly. That's on y'all. Y'all got to eat that. We got to eat a lot of these L's, bro.
Providing services on the street.
This gathering comes a day after the city council at a heated meeting approved $51 million in emergency migrant funding. That money only expected to last through the end of this month.
You speak very much about the money. It's our money. Every dollar you give is our money.
Last weekend, migrants began moving.
Yeah, so I mean, y'all hear they was cheering on the old white guy, but in another context, bro, he would be demonized. So I'm glad he was able to speak up and the black people had his back this time. But guys, do y'all think it would be that same energy if it was Haitian immigrants? I don't think so, honestly. They'll be like, nah, we got to bring them in. We got to. So I'm telling you right now, because honestly, when those 15,000 Haitian immigrants were on the border, people were in uproar and upset about it, but the community wasn't. And that was in Florida, I believe. The community wasn't in an uproar about that. It was like, stop, I say, bring them in. You know what I'm saying?
Every dollar you give is our money.
Last weekend, migrants began moving into Wright College on the northwest side. Officials say that's reduced the number of migrants at police stations from more than 800 last week to fewer than 640 now.
Watch breaking.
Wow. Woo. This one's deep, guys. This one's deep, man. And it only gets deeper. It only gets deeper. And then let's see how this affects the crime. I'm gonna start doing more stories from Chicago, guys. The impact that's going to, you know, be felt across the whole community. We're gonna know what's up.
A divided city council has approved $51 million in migrant crisis funding, but it wasn't easy.
We respectfully ask that this chamber respects the order and decorum of this body of government.
I told y'all, but hey, black people don't got no chill in court, no chill in no city council. Like, woo. And I know these things be taking a minute too, because you got folks interrupting, screaming, yelling, heated, as they described it.
Public comment became heated as residents and aldermen disagreed on how taxpayer dollars should be used.
Casey Cronus is live at City Hall for us. First at 4. Casey.
Anthony and Natalie, the full council approved that budget amendment 34-13. The funding will go toward migrant housing and other resources for asylum seekers that have been bused to Chicago from the Texas border. But that decision did not come without contentious debate.
I have a diverse population, and I hear those same people, black, white, Latino, everybody different races, saying, what about us?
But who'd you vote for? So at this point, I mean, how can we, who feels bad? Honestly, I can't even feel bad, because it's like, y'all really did ask for this.
Housing and real estate. Also has
Residents and council members shared opinions which at times became heated over the decision to allot $51 million to migrants. Those against the funding are questioning how the city can suddenly come up with so much money for new visitors when local communities remain neglected and our own homeless population needs help. Since last August, more than 8,000 migrants have been dropped off in Chicago from the Texas border, with Mayor Johnson calling it a humanitarian crisis.
When we talk about asylum seekers and those families who have been here, how do we make sure that there's enough for everyone? Look, we're moments away of digging in deeper with our budget.
This nigga ain't say shit, bro.
And making sure that we pass a budget that speaks to the values of who we are as a city.
The values of who we are as a city. See, there go that woke shit. There goes that fake humanitarian shit. Guys, I mean, they're busting in the cheap labor. They're replacing the black community as from being the first or the number one minority to the second most populated minority in Chicago. I mean, it's easy to see. It's right there in your face. And 10 years later, I mean, there's going to be it's going to be way out. There will be double the amount of Mexicans than black people. You watch 10 years in Chicago, it's over. And all those neighborhoods that niggas was shooting up for years and years to come get knocked down, gentrified. And I mean, it might make for a better Chicago if they can get the corrupt politicians out, which, I mean, you could argue this is corruption right here. So, I mean, I don't even know. It's not going to get better. All I know.
Now, this comes after Mayor Lightfoot declared a state of emergency because of the migrant crisis before she left office. This as shelters and respite sites for asylum seekers remain full. And right now, Mayor Brandon Johnson is speaking with members of the media. We'll have the latest from that briefing coming up at 5. Reporting live from City Hall, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
All right, and I have for you guys one of the first bodies dropping from this whole migrant situation.
New at 6, police investigating after a man died at a former Southside Chicago school converted into a temporary housing for migrants. Happened at the old Wadsworth Elementary School building in the Woodlawn neighborhood. Authorities say they responded to the call of a 27-year-old man unresponsive and foaming at the mouth just after 6 o'clock this morning.
So did he get his hands on some of that cartel fentanyl? Damn, they get that fentanyl on the streets quick as fuck. That nigga just got here foaming at the mouth. Woo!
And he was pronounced dead there at the scene. And it is the first publicly known death at a city-owned facility since immigrants began arriving in Chicago last year.
Wow. Woo! Community, we are in big trouble. Wait till the community get their hands on that Fetty.
When Mayor Lightfoot was in, she agreed to have Chicago to be a sanctuary city. And where is she now? She's gone.
Another heated community meeting tonight over the placement of migrants.
This time, the city has its sights set on a Northwest Side college as temporary housing.
And a lot of neighbors do not like the idea. Tia Ewing is live with more. Tia.
Well, you said it there, John. A lot of neighbors do not like the idea. There was a lot of mixed emotion here, a lot of opinion from Portage Park residents and also residents from the Dunning community, all voicing their opinions about this move.
Y'all hit that Cash App. This is top tier, top level content. I'm bringing you exactly what's going on in the city of Chicago. The community, we're about to be at war with the Comunitino.
Night. At times there was booing, at other times there was clapping. The meeting unfolded in the space where the asylum seekers would temporarily call home. The room was filled to capacity at one point, Chicago residents making their voices heard.
You can be compassionate, but you can't be foolish.
As more than 8,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since August of 2022, and that number is still going up as Chicago tries to deal with the crisis. On the table is the plan to house them here at Wilbur Wright College, many asking the question about the city's plans moving forward. Some on the Northwest Side support it.
We've all struggled along the way and needed help, every one of us. It's time to pay it forward.
Damn.
These are people.
Where the fuck are they getting all these homosexual white men from? God damn. It's like every damn time they have somebody advocating for this shit, it's a fucking gay white dude. Where are y'all coming from? It is popping up like, I mean, and shout out to the gay white niggas, but shit. Y'all are on the wrong side of this, man. God damn.
They're not political pawns.
And many others don't.
We're inviting in like a magnet. Everybody come here, collect all your freebies. We're going to give it to you. Every sucker in here is going to pay for it.
Woo! And you're going to like it. You're going to love it. And you're going to vote for it in 2024. See, I don't, at this point, I don't care. I don't care. Because even some of y'all glider liberals voted for this too.
Nobody wants the answer.
400 migrants would be housed at the college during the summer months from June 1st to August 1st. Classes would resume. Some question policing of the temporary shelter moving forward.
The police department is going to make frequent visits here.
And yeah, that is true. And because they have to focus on the migrants, who are they going to neglect? Who are they going to neglect? Who are they going to be forced to neglect? What communities are they going to be forced to neglect because they have to, look over these migrants? They're going to be stretched thin. They're going to be stretched thin. And the community takes note of that. Don't think these niggas are stupid now. They take note of, they might be doing some stupid shit, but when an opportunity arises, they're going to pounce on the moment. The community, there is going to be a void of police activity, police involvement, investigations into homicide in the community. Mark my words.
Which means if they're making frequent visits here, they're not out there.
There's plenty of resources to staff providing safety.
No, they got it sounds like the slow or the swole Asian is LGBT. It kind of sounds like he's LGBT too,
So Wright College is part of our community. So to understand that.
Woo, they booed his ass up out of there. They on his ass.
Again, you heard it. That room was full of emotion. Now, a city official did tell me that they plan to give this plan to the city college's board to vote on this week. And if they vote yes, that means the migrants would be moving in ahead of that June 1st date. Live from the Dunning community, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
Man, oh man. It's getting wild out here, guys. And we've got some people who support this stuff too, man. Don't think we don't. I'm going to show you some of the support in a second. But oh man, I mean, it's like the community, they don't even get it. They don't even get that they voted for this. That's the funniest part. They don't even get it.
It is insulting that you would consider such action about a forgotten community that none of you live in.
Developing tonight, outbursts and outrage at a community meeting in South Shore over a housing plan for migrants.
The debate comes as the city deals with the crisis of where to put migrants bussed in from the border.
Elizabeth Matthews is live now with more. Elizabeth.
Corey Don, contentious to say the least. This forum was a chance for city leaders to get input from the public about the old South Shore High School housing migrants. The city got their input.
A packed house at the South Shore International College Prep High School. The crowd voicing their opinion, strongly opposing the addition of migrants in their community.
I am just outraged. I'm outraged, and I don't understand why our community was chosen.
City representatives saying the old South.
Why our community was chosen? Because you asked for it, honey. You asked for this, hunty. That's why your community was chosen, because y'all were the most open to it. By your votes, you're the most open to it. That's all. Wasn't anything personal. They just saw, hey, who's the most open to, this migrant situation? Who's the most open to, opening up the borders? Well, black people. But they're open to it until it actually happens. Then they're like, oh shit, we fucked up.
South Shore High School would not be a shelter, but one of 3 respite centers for the migrants to temporarily sleep, eat, and take a shower, starting with about 250 people taking up the building's first floor. This is a way for the city to get the current 300 migrants out of the police stations. Questions were asked, but answers hard to hear, interrupted by the upset crowd. Before the meeting, a small protest of South Shore neighbors demanding the energy put into the migrant issue be put into their neighborhoods.
It is a slap in the face that we as citizens of the United States of America do not have the resources and support, but you're going to bring people who are not citizens here in our community, in our buildings that we pay taxes for, that you took away from us. That is completely unacceptable. We are in a humanitarian crisis right now. The black people in Chicago are bleeding on the streets.
And who's making them bleed? Let's just keep it a buck. The black people in Chicago are bleeding on the streets because we can't resolve our own differences without shooting up the block. I've been saying this since the beginning. If we just solve this issue, I wouldn't even care about the others. I mean, at least live another day. Reduce the black on black crime. Reduce the homicides in the community. Reduce the hatred between black men. And I mean, shit, we sailing off into the sunset. Nothing can stop us, but you just can't do it. We won't put that shit down.
Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson had this to say about the migrant crisis.
We have a responsibility to make sure that families who are seeking love and support here in the city of Chicago and throughout the state of Illinois, that they are not just welcome, but they are serviced.
Serviced. That's wild. That man said they need to be serviced. So you need to get on your hands and knees and essentially blow them, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like. They need to get serviced, huh? Oh, God. All right, let's keep going. I mean, I could do this for days. There's so many stories on this shit. Wow. And just a month ago, the immigrants marched into Chicago and demanded citizenship and more. Damn. Okay, I gotta play this one because that is them niggas want citizenship now. Woo!
May 1st, a May Day march into downtown Chicago by immigrants demanding a piece of the American dream.
The marchers are also calling for help for the thousands of migrants bused to Chicago and stranded by the governor of Texas. Dane Placco has more now from Federal Plaza.
Well, you have to feel strongly about something to come out and march on a day like this, but that's certainly true of those celebrating May Day here in Chicago by...
Okay, notice this. They're asking for citizenship while flying a Mexican flag. I mean, you got to give somewhere, big dog. They ain't trying to give nothing. I'm still Mexican. We still rocking Mexico, but, you know, I want to be a United States citizen. Like, either you drop the patriotism for your country and pick up our patriotism, or you can't be a citizen. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have love for your home country. No, for sure. You know, rock the flag on your bumper sticker and shit like that. But at this march, at least it should be a two-sided flag, something.
Demanding immigration reform. Despite a cold, blustery rain, about 40 people gathered at Union Park on Chicago's west side, then marched into the Loop in Federal Plaza, demanding a path to citizenship for the estimated 12 million undocumented people who've been living and working in the United States for years.
Wow. Pat, they want citizenship. I mean, sheesh. They feel entitled to it. We've been here 12 years working.
They say May Day, an international workers' rights holiday, is the right time to ask for immigration reform because they make up such a large part of the American economy.
We demand Biden, the administration, he listened to the people. He listened, he make a reform, immigration reform for the people that stay here for a long time.
The marchers are also asking for more help and money for the 8,000 migrants who've been bused to Chicago by Texas Governor Greg Abbott and who are currently living in police stations and other public facilities because of the lack of shelter space.
These shameful games are costing people's lives. We see suicide rates in these now detention centers because that's what they are. They are migrants and refugees.
Organizers say today's rally will pale in comparison to a much larger
Imagine your dumbass flee your country only to come over here and kill yourself. It's crazy.
march planned in early August to demand action in Washington. At Federal Plaza, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
So they want citizenship straight up. That's what they asked for. It's what they demanded.
Is preparing to discuss plans to house migrants at the old South Shore High School.
It's a proposal that is understandably causing some stir within that community. Elizabeth Matthews live now with this developing story. Elizabeth.
Yeah, migrants continue to pour into the city of Chicago, about 8,000 since last summer. The issue has become, of course, we've talked about it, we've reported on it, where to house them. Some are being housed in police stations on floors. One idea is to put them here at the old South Shore High School. There is a protest just kind of getting underway. There's probably less than 10 people here to talk about how they're feeling about this. And there's also a meeting that's going to be held tonight. It was going to be held here at the old high school. Now we're learning it's being held at 6 o'clock tonight, just around the corner at the new high school. But currently, there have been hundreds of migrants seeking refuge.
Shout out to Craig Jacob. He said the sad, crazy part is that these illegals will get reparations before blacks ever will. As insane as that might sound. Yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, they already did like some, I think, $200 million payout to immigrants who were housed during the Trump administration or some shit, you know, when they were locked up in the DACA camps or whatever the fuck. They're already paying them out. So this is what y'all asked for, community. I mean, I hope you enjoy.
In the lobbies of police districts. These images are from volunteers who have stepped up to make sure that these families have food, water, basic necessities. The group of volunteers is about 120 strong, and they say that they're calling police stations themselves every day. They're getting a head count, and then they're seeing how they can help. Again, one idea being tossed about is to put these migrants at the old South Shore High School. One volunteer says anywhere is better than a concrete floor of a police station.
We have a need, and where we see that government has not stepped up, and so normal people.
Community volunteer Erica Villegas. So obviously she's for the immigrants, and she's trying to help. I think their movement is way more organized than ours. Their political prowess and their involvement is way more deep than ours. Being bilingual also helps them. I mean, God damn it. I mean, they and then they're outworking us too. What are we gonna do, community? This shit is finna ride. Honestly, I don't see any way how we can combat this. The only way is what's gonna happen in the streets. But we're gonna lose that battle too.
Living in these communities are stepping up. Because there was instances where people didn't have water. There was instances where people didn't have food in 24 hours. And that, to me, as a human to human, that is just not something that we agree with.
So I asked her, how can we help? They don't really have a name yet for the volunteer group of what they've come together to do. She said, if you want to help, just go to your local police district, your local precinct, see if there are any migrants there, see if you can help. Again, about this meeting, it starts at 6 o'clock tonight. It was supposed to be here at the old South Shore High School, but now it's around the corner at the South Shore International College Prep. It's still happening at 6 o'clock tonight. Someone drove by and said that they had to move it because there's such a massive response, and they were out of seats here at the old high school. So that's coming up at 6 o'clock. Once this protest gets underway, we'll bring that to you, bits and pieces of that at 5 o'clock. Reporting live, Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.
It's not looking good, man.
Out to the city's migrant crisis and plans to turn Wright College into a shelter for hundreds of migrants. Right now, people on the Northwest Side are getting a chance to voice their opinions on that plan. CBS News' Chris Ty is live on campus. Chris.
Erica, the topic that has dominated the national conversation, namely these asylum seekers and what to do with them, is bubbling over here in the Dunning neighborhood on the campus of Wilbur Wright College. We see folks on both sides of this issue. So many times we've reported on folks against these migrants coming in. Now we are seeing folks saying, hey, Chicago is a welcoming city. What will be the verdict tonight from the public at large? This is the meeting that is starting here at the 6 o'clock hour inside the gym here at Wilbur Wright. It's being organized by 38th Ward Alderman Nick Sposato. He says these migrants are going to be moving into this campus June the 1st. They're slated to stay here through August the 1st. His question is, what happens after August the 1st? Big questions that a lot of folks here say Chicagoans shouldn't be forced to foot the bill for. Outside this meeting, emotions bubbled over with folks on both sides.
What ward are you from?
I'm from the 4th ward.
4th ward. Well, your ward should be assessed money to pay for this. If you're ultimate
Because
vote,
I live in the 4th ward and believe that human beings are never illegal. Yes.
why should I pay? I don't want to pay.
Because this is about humanity.
No, it's not about humanity.
You're doing a NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Okay, so we have conservative white male arguing with feminist, liberal white woman, and you see the heads butting. Woo! This one is, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, bro. And obviously, he's going to be immediately demonized. Why are you yelling at her? He can't win this argument, bro. With facts, with logic, you can't win this argument, especially with the, why should I pay? I'm not going to pay. That is not going to work in this, because she's arguing from an emotional, humanistic, and humanitarian point of view, rather. And he's arguing from the economical, logical point of view. You got to come, if you are going to have this debate, you got to come with a different argument. Okay. It's got to be more about citizenship the rights being taken away from American citizens, the job opportunities being taken away from other minorities or, people of color, specifically Black people in the community. That's the angle that you make this argument with the feminists. See, with different people, you have to make different arguments because, I already know what she's going to say. He is not well versed enough in the other side. I think he's more of a watch Fox News, watch one side. And, the talking points just don't hit like that if you don't watch both sides. And I think she's going to win this debate, unfortunately, because she's going to be like, well, I mean, if you don't want to pay, then you just don't have a soul. And I don't know what to do with a soulless person that, some bullshit like that.
No, it's not about debating.
You're doing a NIMBY, not in my backyard.
No. I'm doing is it's all about money. Money, honey.
Oh, man. And that's where he fucked up. It's all about money, money, money. And that's where they're going to call you a colonizer, racist white male, anything for the dollar type shit. He fucked up in that debate. I ain't gonna lie. She ate him without even having to say anything. She just, goddamn. I mean, the Republicans, y'all got to do something because y'all have to be able to debate these topics better. Y'all also have to, he got a little emotional too. Damn, he lost.
That back and forth, a bit of a microcosm of what we're expecting inside tonight. We'll have a recap of all that for you tonight.
And then you have the liberal glider. We love migrants.
Our news at 10. And meantime, tomorrow, City Council is expected to vote on a $51 million package to help pay for these asylum seekers in Chicago. We're live in Dunning. Chris Ty, CBS 2 News.
Quite the exchange there, Chris. Thank you.
The nigga said the stud won this round. Yeah, she did, man. Unfortunately, damn it, man. Ugh. Hate to say it, but I mean, we had to give it to her because he just fucked up with it's all about the money. He sound like, Daddy Warbucks or some shit. Like, bro, you have to dismantle her emotional argument by saying, yes, I care about them as human beings, but I also care about the only reason why they're here is because the incentive was there for them to come. That's the only reason why they're here. So if the United States doesn't create an incentive and create, the ease, the levity of coming here, I mean, then we don't have this issue. But because we have a president who said anybody who comes is going to be accepted, and you don't have any discipline, then they're like, oh, this is the green light. This is my opportunity. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime chance. That's the angle that you have to debate that from. Not, it's all about money. Da, 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 da. Like, no, bro, you have to go top down.
I'm Anthony Ponce. 300 asylum seekers in Chicago moved into Wright College on the northwest side over the holiday weekend. And that number, 300, is actually fewer than the 400 that were expected to be temporarily housed at the campus. The migrants were transferred from area police stations and consist of families with children.
God damn, they brought all the fat hoes. I ain't seen a bad bitch yet. Where the bad spice? Where them damn news reporter Latinas at? Because all I'm seeing is fucking square bobs.
And no single adults. The city says the
bitch is shaped like a fucking Modelo bottle.
Building will have 24/7 security, a curfew of 11 p.m., and no drugs, alcohol, or visitors will be allowed. Alderman Nick Sposato of the 38th Ward says he was blindsided.
They said no drugs, alcohol, and visitors, but they already had a nigga overdose on fentanyl.
By this decision 3 weeks ago, does not blame the current or former administration for the situation and is now urging patience and understanding from Northwest Side residents.
We have to make the best of it, and being the caring type of people we are on the Northwest Side, once again, just make the best of it, and hopefully there's no problems, because any problems anywhere, they're certainly going to be blaming the asylum seekers.
Now, the city says that this is a temporary solution and that the migrants will be out of Wright College by the 1st of August. However, Alderman Sposato says he highly doubts that they'll only be there for 2 months. Anthony Ponce, Fox 32, Chicago.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's what they're going to tell you. Oh, it's only going to be 2 months, dude. That's impossible to remove them. In 2 months, get them on their feet in 2 months? Yeah, right. With inflation, you can forget about it.
Vote to address financial resources for asylum seekers living in makeshift shelters across the city, tabled during today's city council meeting.
And Jewel Hillary is joining us live from City Hall tonight with the story. Jewel.
Good evening, Micah and Ray. The crisis over housing and supporting asylum seekers across the city continues to generate a lot of debate. A possible vote, as you mentioned, put on hold earlier today because some council members say that allocating and spending money doesn't make any sense if a plan is not in place.
But we're not hearing together.
Before it wrapped up, a Wednesday morning press conference at City Hall, led by some city council members, proposing a plan to address the needs
Hey, this nigga right here with the support hoodie looked like a snapping turtle.
of asylum seekers got interrupted.
Commit to me that we first.
We're going to commit.
Yeah, commitment what?
We're going to commitment to work with you to make sure that those meetings are addressed.
Leaders of
Bruh. You think that was he thought he got something there. God damn. Niggas think they yell and then, you know. Bro, that's not. Oh, man. This nigga thought he just passed a law off a handshake.
press conference at City Hall, led by some city council members, proposing a plan to address the needs of asylum seekers, got
shit.
interrupted.
Commit to me that we first.
We're going to commit.
Yeah, commitment what?
He is, bro, you're talking to a Hispanic man, and shout out to the Latino. I'm not trying to bag on Latinos. As a matter of fact, you know, I'm fucking with y'all, but I don't fuck with illegal immigrants, of course. You're asking a Hispanic guy commit to us that we're first, and when he means we're, he's talking about black people. He's not talking about the white citizens of Chicago. He's not talking about them. He's talking about us before you, bro. That's not how group politics works, bro. You can't just shake the Mexican's hand and think that, oh, you know, I shook his hand, so it's us before them. Like, we eat first. Damn, niggas can't be this stupid.
I'm a commitment to work with you to make sure that those meetings are addressed.
You hear that? He ain't say you first. He said, I make a commitment. He said, I make it a commitment to work with you to make sure that those feelings are addressed. He didn't say y'all are first. We're gonna address it. Get your shit off, you know. Act like it's damn Sunday service and the preacher is preaching a fire sermon. And then we gonna write this bill into law that takes away all of your rights and gives them to illegal immigrants. The jobs as well.
Yeah, commitment what?
I'm a commitment to work with you to make sure that those meetings are addressed.
Leaders of ex-cons for community and social change demanding that those getting out of prison are not overlooked.
Nah, see, bruh. You're trying to line up illegal immigrants with niggas who are getting out of prison and saying, we want those jobs before them. There was 1,600 jobs at the hotel that them niggas could have got. Look, bruh, we lost, bro, in this. It's over because they're out working us, bro. They're sleeping on tile floors and still waking up at 6 a.m. out working y'all niggas.
They got housing for us to go in prison, but no housing for us when we return.
Part of the council members' proposal
That was a good point, though.
includes 3 types of shelters. Some shelters housing up to 400 people, other shelters with no more than 30 people.
This plan should be able to be implemented to house every single person experiencing homelessness across the city of Chicago. These issues are hand in hand, and we should be working together.
During Wednesday's city council meeting, several aldermen deferred discussion and a possible vote on using $51 million initially set to help with addiction to be used instead for.
Shout out to E. Stark with the $10 Cash App. Your donation is very much appreciated.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
For asylum seekers.
The unfortunate thing is, even if you were to allocate that $51 million today, that only would have lasted for about 2 months. and we would be in the same exact spot come July.
Councilman Ray Lopez says
And the other guy said 1 month.
in the best interest of taxpayer dollars and the humanity of migrants, a solid plan needs to be set in stone before resources are allocated.
We need a citywide solution because this is a citywide problem, and the new mayor, though this was not his fault, it is now his problem.
The city council is expected to meet again next Wednesday. At that time, they will discuss and possibly vote on the use of that $51 million that could be used to help asylum seekers. Reporting live from City Hall tonight, I'm Jewel Hillary, WGN News.
Damn. Coughed up the bag. Damn, community. That's a huge L. Fuck. We're getting fucked.
Beginning June 1st, up to 400 migrants may be temporarily relocated to Wright College. Located on the city's northwest side, the college is the latest target of a city desperately seeking out underutilized buildings, where migrants now sleeping on police station floors all across Chicago can be safely housed until more stable shelter space opens up.
It's not right. It's not right to them, and it's not right to the police officer. So right now, this is a kind of a win-win.
Speaking to us at Wright College today, 38th Ward Alderman Nick Sposato says, as of Thursday, there were nearly 800 migrants sleeping in police stations. And while the city is currently operating 7 shelters and 3 respite sites, there's simply not enough.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and as long as there's ample amount of security here, I'm fine with it.
And while a similar initiative to convert an empty school building into a respite center in South Shore a few weeks ago was met with resistance and even hostility by some neighbors who say their resources are stretched too thin, those who live near Wright College in Dunning and Portage Park with their high immigrant populations may be more receptive to the idea.
I know people get a little bit scared sometimes when, thinking bad things are going to happen to their neighborhood from strangers coming in. I think it's the opposite.
But what happens after August 1st when the school has to be turned back over to students and staff? Alderman Sposato says the city needs to come up with alternate ideas to just traditional shelters.
We need to get started an adoptive family program. I mean, there's families out here, maybe empty nesters, want to take.
I know he did not just say that. Adoptive family program. So he wants, let me get this straight. He wants us to not only pay taxes, but he also wants us to house these motherfuckers. You got to be out your goddamn mind. Unless y'all, I'll take in all the hoes and we'll do something with that. But other than I ain't housing nobody else. That shit crazy.
Take a family in them.
This, of course, all costs money, more than the state and federal government have given. And so on Wednesday, city council members are going to be asked to reallocate $51 million in surplus funds to the migrant crisis, money that will only get the city through June 30th.
Watch break.
Damn. Community really dropped the ball, man. We could have had this nipped in the bud in 2020. Now the floodgates have opened up. There's no turning back.
Community on Chicago's northwest side is torn over whether it should allow migrants to stay at a nearby college.
Residents had a chance to speak to city leaders about this proposed plan. NBC5's Lisa Chavarria joins us live in studio.
She called, man. She's sitting on something too.
Here, and Lisa, what are those residents saying?
It was really a wide spectrum of opinions last night. So some say they don't think the city college is the best place for the migrants to stay, but it's better than them being crammed into police stations. Others feel this is a federal issue that should be handled by the government and not the city. Take a listen to what some of the other residents had to say.
They'll be bringing disease to the neighborhood. We don't want them here.
18th district.
That nigga said they bringing disease. I'm dead. This nigga think it's the damn Spanish Inquisition. He has bringing disease. God damn.
District has a sign.
Niggas bringing that damn taco salad.
Enter at your own risk. Lice.
Show them compassion. Show them empathy.
Much of it, I think, driven by fear. And I'm wondering what these people
are afraid of.
These residents are talking
The cartels, sir. The cartels.
about a proposed plan to move up to 400 migrants into Wright College on Narragansett and Montrose in Chicago's Dunning neighborhood. The city is proposing to keep the migrants there through August 1st. A panel of city leaders led by
They try to move him into the oh shit, it's crazy.
the 38th Ward alderman insisted this is the best option they could find in a 9-month search. Some residents expressed concern over how much this is costing the city, while others said they're concerned about safety in the area. Here's how city officials responded to that.
The funding is going to staffing, it is going to facilities, it is going to food. Situations like Wright College that are our city facilities are cheaper than going to hotels.
There is an 11 p.m. curfew. All guests will have to sign in and out.
Officials also told the crowd that the migrants have also had their fingerprints taken. Now, for those who are staying at the police stations, they've had access to only one bathroom and haven't had opportunities to shower when they're staying there. This comes as officials say more migrants are being sent up to Chicago from Laredo, Texas later this afternoon. The earliest the migrants could be moved into Wright College would be this Saturday. Michelle?
Oh man, I mean, I got 1, 2, 3. I mean, I also got a longer video where we got some brothers and sisters speaking on it. Oof. I'm gonna try and get through it all, guys. Let's keep going. I'm hungry though, but we'll keep going.
We raised our hand to help the city of Chicago. We did not. We raised our hand.
As many as 400 asylum seekers will be moved to Wilbur Wright College on the city's northwest side. And tonight, city and college leaders held this meeting at the school to explain what's next and to hear from residents.
WGN Shannon Halligan live at Wright College with details. Shannon.
Yeah, it was at full capacity here tonight. It's estimated some 500 people were packed inside the gym. City leaders said that asylum seekers will be coming to the college here as early as Saturday.
I will level with you. There is a bus on the way from Laredo, Texas right now that is going to arrive in Chicago tomorrow afternoon. As it stands now, we don't know exactly where we're putting these people. That's why it's so critical that we're here today to help expand our capacity across the system.
Opening a location like this will help alleviate upwards of 400 of our migrants staying within our stations, and that'll assist with helping us ensure that we continue to provide the police service throughout our communities that everyone here expects, but then also provides the level of care that our migrants are needing.
And Chicago police said more than 800 asylum seekers have been staying at police stations. This facility at Wilbur Wright College will mainly be for families, OEMC representatives said tonight. There will be rules. All guests must sign in and out, and there will be an 11 p.m. curfew every night, and no drugs or alcohol will be allowed on the property. The plan is to
And they already broke that rule.
400 people until August 1st. Then the city promised to have everyone out. There were several supporters of the asylum seekers here tonight, but there were also several loud opponents to the plan as well.
It seems to me this whole thing was dumped on us. We pay taxes in this district, and we should have been told what's going on and why.
You know, these sisters hate that old white lady.
I just want to say thank you for everything you all are doing for these people. They came here with nothing on their backs due to U.S. policies that caused all this.
And once again, this situation is only expected to be temporary until August 1st. The city has vowed to continue to search for other solutions to housing asylum seekers going forward. Live at Wright College, Shannon Halligan, WGN News.
Damn. Well, guys, I mean, they already about to eclipse us in population. And a lot of these undocumented residents, we don't even have numbers on them because they're not U.S. citizens. So they might even already have us.
Rob and Cheryl, the meeting drawing hundreds of residents who are required to show ID to prove they live nearby. Dozens of neighbors signed up to speak, and they did not hold back. On the Northwest Side, standing room only and emotions running high.
We love people, but this is an absolute slap in the face to those who come here legally.
Opposition and support for the city's latest plan for migrants.
This is another chapter in Chicago's long history of immigration, whether it was the Italians, the Poles, whether
Stop it, folks. Stop it. This meeting at Wilbur Wright College in Dunning comes as the city plans to use the school as a summer respite center starting as early as this weekend to alleviate the crush of migrants overrunning police stations.
Why don't we put them in Lincoln Park? Why don't we put them on the North Shore? They say, hey, let's help out, let's help out.
We have space, and we are a community college. We always talk about putting the community in community college.
I will not speak over people.
This gathering, the latest.
See, she said the community and community college, but this ain't they fucking community. They're from the Comunitino. It's not the same. But they have convinced you it is the same.
Community meeting. Earlier this month, Southside residents sued the city to block migrants from being housed temporarily at the former South Shore High School. The city says it's looked at hundreds of locations.
We raised our hand when we housed migrants at Truman College, and we raised our hand this time around.
At tomorrow's city council meeting, which is the first with Mayor Brandon Johnson presiding, more than $50 million is expected to be approved for the migrant crisis. That money is only expected to last through June 30th.
Watch breaking news on you. New tonight at 10, tensions running high on the Northwest Side where people got the chance to voice their opinions about the city opening a new migrant shelter, this time at Wright College. CBS 2's Chris Dye has the...
Oh, we already watched this one. Okay. All right. So the final video I have is the little press conference that the Comunitad did and showed up for overwhelmingly. And they were giving their thoughts on this illegal immigrant situation, and this is a sister. We're only going to listen to what the black people have to say about this, honestly. So let's listen up.
NATASHADUNN. And I want to start by saying this is South Shore. These are neighbors. These are invested stakeholders. These are friends. We have a few of our Woodline friends here that are also neighbors.
I mean, are they invested though? How many people behind you actually own property? Just saying.
We love our community. And there's a misperception that the Black community just sits around and allows violence to happen, and we don't care too much about the education
I'm sorry. How is that a misconception?
of our children, but we do. We work hard. We work diligently, and we volunteer our time.
See, I don't want to eat her up, no pun intended, but you work hard, but hard workers, they would be in a little better shape at least, right? I mean, what are you really working hard at? It's crazy.
Because we want to see our community just like communities on the north side. We want to be able to have the same resources, the same access to jobs and opportunities as other communities. That's right. So today I stand before you because members of the Black Community Collaborative, South Shore constituents, and stakeholders are extremely dismayed by the city of Chicago's inability to control and develop safe parameters around housing migrants that have been transported here from the border. Our specific frustration lies in the continuous and blatant disregard for the safety and overall quality of life of Black residents, as many of these migrants have been dumped in our neighborhoods without a plan in place to monitor and house them long term. They have intentionally created barriers to impede participation in a decision-making process around the public school buildings we pay taxes to maintain, and that they unjustly close, and ignoring the community's plea to keep them open. Communication regarding meetings that have been held have been lackluster. We found out about the first meeting in South Shore via the mayor's Facebook page and by word of mouth through text messages and just people, because our community is this. We talk to each other, we are informed, and we talk to each other, bottom line. This engagement tactic is very poor, and it ultimately leaves working class and our elder constituents, because this area has a lot of elder constituents who are not on social media. That's not fair to them, but that was intentional, we believe. Additionally, they made capacity limits for the meeting. By the second day we found out about the meeting, it was stated that the meeting was full. So people were complaining that they didn't have access to a meeting. What kind of Jim Crow stuff is this? All Black homes.
How's it Jim Crow if they're bringing in Mexicans? I just don't see how she's making that equivocation. I mean, a lot of this is talking out of her ass. She just needs to say, look, man, it's just not right. Bringing in people who are illegal immigrants, just get to the point.
All Black stakeholders that have concerns should have been afforded the adequate space and notice and decision which ultimately impacts the value of our land, safety, and peace. We have been redlined, Jim Crow, pushed out enough. During the meeting, the city again attempted to limit our ability to let our voices be heard. City officials stated that they would not allow us to speak and only to read answers that the panel chose to read. We wasn't having it. So when you saw on the media people upset, we were upset because we were gaslit before we even started the meeting. Specifically, the chief of the Office of New America's Nubia was extremely disrespectful to our community's culture and standards. She had a lack of respect for us in the meeting openly. And it wasn't just South Shore. It was reported she did this in Woodlawn as well. They turned off mics of people who was concerned and speaking their voice. That is completely unacceptable. Finally, Black Chicagoans have been living in a state of crisis for years and have yet to receive quality city services and resources we need and deserve to stop the crisis. While we have empathy for the humanitarian crisis, our priority is the humanitarian crisis that we have suffered from for generations, and we do not have the capacity to bear this burden of migrants that are facing today. Here's why. Currently, 73% of homeless citizens in Chicago are African American. God
damn. See, and if I was to bring up that stat, 73% of the homeless people in Chicago are African American. If I was to bring that stat up, I'm a coon, I'm a sellout, But she brings it up, and I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it hit a little harder. And those people are welcome to go, get those 1,600 jobs in those hotels. Don't get it fucked up either. All they got to do is get off of the damn meth or heroin, and they could get those jobs.
There are Black youth couch surfing and riding the trains for shelter. Currently, South Shore has the highest eviction rates in the city of Chicago, with Black families being put out of their houses in alarming rates.
And you're only going to get evicted if you're not paying your rent. We all know that Black women are the most educated, but also the most evicted. And then also you can get evicted if you got Pookie and Ray Ray pulling up and causing problems. I mean, like I said, it's just, we have these issues and they can only be solved internally. They really can. No amount of money will fix this.
77% of homes that are foreclosed due to taxes is African Americans in Cook County.
So another thing that I deal with a lot because I'm in real estate, Black people, unfortunately, a lot of times we don't pay our property taxes. At these tax sales, you see a lot of Black people's properties. So they talk about, oh, generational wealth is not being passed down. That's because y'all ass don't pay the damn property tax and y'all aren't keeping up with the property. You know, when grandmama, granddaddy die, y'all leave that house vacant for 10 years. And then by the time you got your head in the sand, and by the time that the tax auction come up, yo ass, you trying to go at the fucking court step. You trying to go at the court steps and then pay for the property. They already done auction that bitch off. Dude, I've seen it time and time again. A lot of times we're just not on it. Like, we're just not on it. When the taxes are due, you let it lapse a year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. They come sell it at a tax auction, and then you front line and center trying to damn buy the bitch off of the fucking county steps. Like, that's not how you do things. That's not how you do things. Just catch your shit up, and you wouldn't have to do it. But it's the neglect. It's the, I don't know, the apathy, whatever you want to call it. Maybe just like ignorance as to knowing like what your options are. And it's stubbornness, because it'll be plenty of people who try and save them and be like, yo, I'll buy the property. I know you owe like 6 bands. I'll pay the property taxes, but you got to sell it to me at a discount. That's how the game goes. You got to sell at a discount, or you get your shit auctioned off. Or you get somebody to pay it, which is the ideal situation. But I'm not going to pay your shit if I'm not going to get anything out of it. So obviously I want a deal if I'm going to buy your property and you're losing it to the tax auction. I mean, it's pretty much a win-win. But these sisters, they don't want to, they won't sell it to you. I ain't finna give it up. And then the shit gets auctioned. And then they're like, well, I didn't like how that went down. I didn't like how they handled that auction. They should have told me. They gave you notice. They put a sign on your door. They did all this shit. They mailed you 30 times. You had 30 people calling you, trying to buy the property from you, and you still let it go to the tax auction. That's why we don't have generational wealth. Now we could talk about you know, the distribution of wealth and why granddaddy and grandmama them only had 2 or 3 properties to pass down instead of like, you know, acreages of property. That can be a whole discussion, but don't act like we don't have property to pass down, because we do have property to pass down. Y'all just aren't responsible enough to get it past even the first generation. Y'all can't even get the damn property. We can't even pass down a property down 1 generation in the Black community. But white people, they pass their properties down. Dude, when white people's kids graduate college, they have a house being built for them. Or they move into the home that they grew up in, and the parents move and retire somewhere in Florida. So they're able to pass down that generational wealth, and they give the house up, you know, for a more relaxed life and a smaller living situation. So you don't have to, you know, handle a 3,000 square foot house. You had 4 or 5 kids in the house. Now you don't have no kids in the house. So you give the house to the kids, and then you move to like a 1,000 square foot house in Florida on the water and live out your days. But see, we're not doing shit the right way. We're not doing shit the right way. That's why we have all these high statistics for the negative. Like, we're first in all the worst things, because like our foundation is screwed because we're just not doing things the right way.
Currently, 78% of homicide shootings victims are Black people. Rest in peace to the officer that just died. Rest in peace to Jaya, my son's classmate, Hadia Pendleton, and all of the innocent Black children who have died in the streets of Chicago.
And they were killed by Black men. So, I mean, yes, RIP, but then again, you got to address who killed them as well.
And the city have yet to stop it.
The city has to stop it. Not the Black women who are raising these demons. The city has to stop it. It's the city's responsibility to make sure that your 15-year-old kid, your 13-year-old kid, your 11-year-old kid isn't out here killing people. Interesting.
90% of schools that were closed without our input, without our feedback, although we showed up like we showed out over there at South Shore, they ignored us. Was closed in our community. 90% of those schools. Between 5 and 20.
The reason why those schools were closed down, we've already broken this down. See, she's trying to make it seem like it's the government's fault. Too many fights, too many stabbings, too many shootings at the school. Y'all was beating up the teachers. Y'all was stabbing the teachers. Y'all had no respect. And, you know, everybody was failing. There was just a story that came out about a school in Texas where they couldn't even hold a graduation ceremony because only like 5 people actually graduated they might not even had anybody eligible to graduate from their school, if I'm not mistaken. And unfortunately, that school was a majority Black and Hispanic or people of color school in Texas. Nobody graduated damn near, and they couldn't even hold a graduation ceremony. So this is not just a Chicago problem, but I think it's interesting the way that she's framing it as if it's the city government's fault that's happening when we have some inner work to do.
12% of students in the South Shore neighborhood elementary school read proficiently. These data points is why we're upset. This is not about the migrants.
Is why we upset, or these data points are why we upset? It looks like she's part of that 12% that can't read.
These data points is why we're upset. This is not about the migrants. This is about the entire city of Chicago ignoring our community. And this school belongs to us. Why? Because we fought for this school. We fought for it, we pay for it, and the alderman said she would give it to us. We allowed.
See, y'all keep doing these damn verbal agreements, these handshake agreements. Y'all, I mean, niggas, we are not learning from history. God, y'all got to get something on paper.
Her to have the police academy here. Most of us didn't want it, but
Hold
some
on.
of us did, and we
Did you hear what he said? We gonna take it. Listen up.
Pay for it, and the alderman said she would give it to us.
The alderman said she would give it to us. What did the brother say?
We allowed her to have the police academy.
Woo! Y'all heard it out the left analog, and we gonna take it. Guys, it's gonna get bloody.
Academy here. Most of us didn't want it, but some of us did, and we let it go. But this time we can't let this go. We cannot keep letting go the fact that these are our communities. We're standing strong to make it a good community. And we expect the city, the state, and everyone to provide us humanitarian aid. That's right. We expect the city to work with us in an
Asking for more shit from daddy government. Damn, y'all don't learn.
effort of creating an Office of Black Americans to address these issues. We need representation. So right now, I'm going to actually introduce you so you can learn further about our lawsuit. We had to do this. We were forced to do this. You know, it's enough for us talking. It's enough of that. We can't continue to let our elected officials lie to us. So I would like to introduce to you Frank, our attorney. I didn't want to butcher his last name.
God damn, she can't even pronounce her own attorney's last name, and then they didn't even hire a Black attorney. God damn it, bruh. All the blackety black, she just spit out all that blackety black shit, and you hire a Jewish attorney.
Frank Avila.
Thank you very much. My name is Frank Avila. A as in apple, V as in victory, ILA. And I'm here today as the lawyer.
Avila, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, honestly, do we really want to hear what Frank has to say? Not really. Let's listen to the community.
I'm going to introduce you, Jimmy. He's one of the plaintiffs in the case.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jimmy Darnell Jones, but please reference J. Darnell Jones. That's
JDJ.
DARN.
He trying to be like the lawyer and spell it out. Nigga, just go.
NELL Jones. JONES.
Niggas know how to spell Darnell. Fuck out of here.
I come to this podium today with a flame.
a claim that burns on the necessity of self-preservation for this community and communities like this and every other city in this country where our voices actually have power. It's my concern and other members of South Shore community,
Damn, I think he's LGBT.
a community that is predominantly comprised of the descendants of once enslaved African Americans, that the same federally backed tactics that proven detrimental to thriving Black communities of the past under the guise of eminent domain are being used to house asylum seekers in the heart of our community without our advisement, our permission, nor our agreement. I come as a representative of this community.
You did agree because you voted for this. I mean, this it really doesn't make any sense, guys.
To rebuke efforts by the Texas governor and everyone between here and there who think we will overlook this nationwide effort to use immigration as a tool to destroy our neighborhoods and water down our ability to make political difference under the guise of philanthropy and grace. Did anyone consider the quiet enjoyment and safety rights that are expected of the citizens of any community like ours? Or were those considerations purposely left out because of our Blackness? The very first question I had here now, and I had last week, is why not Pilsen, Belmont Cragen, Logan Square, Little Village, South Chicago, South Deering, or Hedwich, communities that have a supportive cultural infrastructure and potentially more resources to support someone new to the country and the surrounding community.
Because the city can't bully them.
There are many studies that have shown the adverse impact of immigration to Black communities in terms of jobs, earnings, education, healthcare, and political positioning. Many of us have not only read those studies, we continue to live the outcomes and know them to be truthful. Why would any leader put our Black communities already riddled with crime at further risk by placing unvetted non-taxpayers steps away from our seniors?
I mean, who do y'all trust more, the Mexicans or the community? Let me know.
Our children and our homes we've worked so hard on our own to secure, without the resources of some non-Black communities in the city, without solid safety protocols in place to protect us from the some of them who don't live up to the expectations of kindness. For us to bear the tax burdens of public services like water, utilities, and the likes, knowing we are an already under-resourced community. If you don't know what I mean, let me offer you some additional context. We currently have water and sewer maintenance happening in our local streets now. Certainly gas will be next.
And we ain't working.
Who's splitting that bill?
He said, and we ain't working. Why ain't you working? Did y'all hear the ad libs? Niggas are telling on themselves in this press conference. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And we ain't working. God damn. I mean, just tell them what the plan is, bruh.
Certainly gas will be next.
And we ain't working.
Who's splitting that bill?
And we ain't working. Nigga, why? Why don't you just apply for the fucking job if you want to work so bad? But let's keep it a buck. You don't want those jobs, man. The community doesn't want those jobs to lay sewage pipes and, you know, lay gas pipes under the street. I mean, we just aren't. We're not built like that. I mean, we are physically. We have the ability to do that, but mentally, no.
Our local taxes will increase, regardless of what lies they tell us. They will. Other areas of the city have businesses that pay into their local economies. Drive down any of our major thoroughfares, and you don't see large-scale businesses that provide input to our local economy. As a matter of fact, Walmart decided to leave because they will finally be forced to pay taxes in this next administration.
That's not why they left. They left because y'all niggas kept robbing them. I did a story on that year after year after year. They were losing money. They were not profitable. The Walmart lost millions of dollars, and they used that Walmart as a tax write-off. And eventually they had to pull out. That's why Walmart left. It had nothing to do with what he just said about what did this nigga say? He said they pulled out because what do you say? Hold on.
Leave because they will finally be forced to pay taxes.
Oh, because they got to pay taxes, dude. They didn't pay taxes because it was a write-off, bro, because they were unprofitable. That's they had 1 year of profitability, or maybe they even didn't have 1 year, and the city was like, oh, you got to pay taxes even though you're unprofitable because we're looking at your revenue. But they had way more expenses and they had way more losses because, you know, the Black and brown community, people of color, went in there and took whatever the fuck they wanted and walked out. That costs Walmart. It costs them. Those goods cost, okay? And they had to, you know, they had to factor that in. So yes, they may not have been paying taxes, but that's because they weren't making money. See how that works, buddy?
In this next administration.
You heard the niggas ad libs. That's why they left. Damn, niggas are retarded, bro.
Taxes in this next administration.
Golly, he's like, that's why they left. Damn. You can't make this shit up.
The same applies to many other businesses who are okay with being in communities that don't look like ours. It leaves us to fend for ourselves and not have the privilege of sharing the tax burden with those who have the resources to make our lives a little easier. Politically, having over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have. Are you aware that there are immigrant advocates at state houses all over this country who are advocating for non-citizen voting in local elections?
But y'all voted for that shit. That was the same shit Stacey Abrams was pushing. That was the same shit Lightfoot was pushing. Y'all were for that. Y'all were just for that like 2 months ago. Stop the cap, bro. Stop lying. You support that. Now that it's at your doorstep, now you switching sides. But you voted for that, dude. Fuck out of here.
What if that happened here? That would change the mindset of what we as a Black community need to thrive here in Chicago.
And maybe it's best that the Hispanics take that voting block and become the top minority. Maybe it is best. Maybe it is best because somebody in the chat said, you know, the Hispanics are usually Catholic, so they lean more with traditional values and vote traditionally. That could be true. And, you know, it might tip the scales to fix some of these issues, but
that's a concern of ours. This is much bigger than the mayor of Chicago or Chicago Police Department. This is an effort to destroy our neighborhoods and silence our voices even further. White supremacy is not merely a word. It is foundational in the
so he's talking about white supremacy, but they're bringing in immigrants, other people of color. I mean, you're gonna have to make it make sense, big dog.
practice of some of our government activities and actions, and it is important that we come together as a community to get back to educating ourselves and understand what is important to us in our existence.
Not existing is important to us. That's what it looks like, at least, because I mean, everywhere you turn, you got niggas killing niggas. So when we really look deep into what the priorities are from our actions, you see what it is. And then not only is it niggas killing niggas, which, you know, we can argue, okay, that's a small population of brothers in the community. Not only is it niggas killing niggas, but it's also, I mean, it's even worse to the point where the people who aren't involved at all justify the actions, rationalize it. Look on social media. Just look. Any nigga gets killed. Da, da, da. There was just some woman who was shoplifting and then left her kids in the car. The car caught on fire, and I think like Good Samaritan saved the kids. And people were like, why is her shoplifting relevant? Her kids just went through a traumatic situation. Nick, because she was neglecting her kids to go steal and break the law, and her car ended up catching on fire. That's why.
That's everyone. That's not just Black people. There are too many distractions in our community now, and some of them we need to overcome. We must overcome. And that is what's keeping us from preserving the greatness that those before us fought for and fought that we would continue down the line. So I say all this to say, as a community, South Shore, we are strong. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to lie down and allow this to happen. So we will fight. We will fight as long as we need to fight to make sure that this does not happen. And at the same time, we will continue to pray for the people who are affected by this, who are impacted by this, other than our community. We hope that they find that the city provides, or this country provides, some type of resources for them.
What? So now you backtracking. It's either we're going to provide the resources or not. Stop flip-flopping. This is why like we can't get respected in political sphere, because we won't stand on nothing. It's either we fund them or we send their ass back.
Be able to live their lives and be just.
We could have put that 51 million into building the wall. It's bullshit.
Prosperous and happy as we are. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So it looks like this is a Hispanic. I mean, although I'm sure he has an interesting perspective. You know what? Let's listen up. I was going to skip through, but I only wanted to hear what the Black people had to say, but let's listen up.
Representing the Black American Voter Project, member
Hold
of
up.
the Black Community Collaborative, also
Hold on. Okay, so he's Black? So he's claiming he's Black. All right. Okay.
representing the Black American Voter Project. So I want to piggyback on some of the things I already said. We recognize here that this is a larger issue than just South Shore. I'm a South Shore resident, but this is also a Chicago, a statewide, and a national issue. We all understand.
Oh, now it's a national issue, dude. Y'all was, I swear, bro, when Trump said build the wall, all these people were like, oh my God, you're so disgusting. How could you do that? Oh.
Title 42 is expiring. So they're expecting between 700 to 1 million people crossing the border. When you have a welcoming city like Chicago,
Did he mean 700,000?
we should expect at least 100,000 people to be coming here now. Minimum, right? And we understand
100,000 Mexicans coming to Chicago alone would completely decimate the Black community. Like they would topple us in numbers and percentage of the city of Chicago. They would become the new top minority.
and the situation that the incoming mayor is in, but we ask him to consider us to go ahead and push this office of Black Americans here in Chicago. I want to give a couple updates. At the state level, we have been working with the Black Caucus officials to bring equity and capacity building to Black institutions on behalf of the governor of Illinois. The Black Caucus is on board with it so far. We only have two other elected officials that I know of. State Representative Marcus Evans has sent a letter of support. And then we have Alderman David Moore. And he stood up yesterday as, even though our own alderman here in the A Fort, Michelle Harris, stood up and told us that she was against it, she voted yes for the allocation of the $51 million 2 days ago. There was only one Black.
Told you. They keep telling them, yeah, I'm against it. Come to vote. And then Black people don't double check to see who actually voted which way.
Black alderman that did, and that was David Moore. So salute to David.
So only one Black alderman voted against the 51 million. Y'all are, I mean, so easily swayed. Just because they're Black, you're voting for them. Damn, we are the most easily bamboozled political group to ever exist in the history of the world. Honestly, all they have to be is black. That's why y'all voted for Brandon Johnson, because he was black. Lori Lightfoot, because she was black and dyking. Meanwhile, she got a white bitch who's like 7'2". I mean, damn. Yeah. What can you really say, man? Y'all literally, Obama set the precedent to like just vote black because they black. And then after that, they knew that they got you. And hey, you know, Chicago is Obama's old stomping ground. So they got y'all locked in, man. And they're still going to vote Democrat this upcoming election year.
More and Marcus Evans. But for us here, we are now going to continue the effort to talk and fight with our own elected officials to represent us. Who are they talking to in Springfield and in City Hall? What are they fighting for? Because it's definitely not us, because they're not here. They're not on the news standing up for our issues. They're not in the community, except those two at least made statements. So our effort is a continuing effort, again, to take back. We are 30 years behind, but we are here now standing together to move our community forward. Thank you.
Can I tell you something?
Good afternoon.
You can lift that stand.
Oh, okay.
Just unscrew the.
You might want to do that. I think
God damn. Nigga had to get the white man to lift the stand. What the fuck? Come on, y'all.
Job, right? I'm not a union member. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Craig T. Carrington. I'm an alumni of this beautiful school. Go Tars. I'm also a fifth generation Chicagoan, primary here in South Shore. I want to thank Ms. Dunn for allowing me to speak. Currently, I am a community court case manager. I run a restorative justice program, and that program is designed to assist individuals between the ages of 18 to 26 with situations to keep them from not moving forward with a criminal record. Well, anyway, a couple of my participants, that's what we call them. We don't call them defendants. They are homeless. And so it's my job as a case manager to get them some housing. So when I went about inquiring about some housing, one of my participants reached me on my phone after I was in Mr. Carrington. I did get placed on a wait list, but I was told that the immigrants were taking priority. That's a story that a lot of people don't know.
So, I mean, immigrants over felons. And I mean, honestly, I can't really argue with that. I mean, who would you rather have? A nigga who just did 15 for armed robbery, or a fucking 5'2" Mexican who's got calluses on his hands and feet and ready to fucking, you know, lay some drywall?
And it hurt me. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I understand we need to be humanitarian, but these people are, that my participants are third and fourth generation Chicagoan, born, bred, fed, and raised here.
Yeah, and they made the mistake of, you know, catching them charges, and that's just how it goes. I mean, and then you got to question, hey, is this guy gonna get the job done right? Is he gonna argue about pay? I mean, shit, the Mexicans, they tell you a price and the price don't fucking change. The price is the price. That's what they say. The price is the price. At least I know what I'm getting. Shit. You get a nigga, shit, I didn't even know how to do this and do that. Let me get 100 more. Like, damn.
Yeah. You know, my grandmother, Mayrella Carrington, rest in peace, always said, Craig, charity starts at home first, and then it go abroad. So I want to thank you all for this, and we're going to stick together on.
I do like that, though. Charity starts at home first. I do like that.
This with the people in Woodlawn said, keep pushing, Craig, keep pushing, and I'm glad that we can do this. Thank you.
Good. My name is Tyrone Muhammad, Executive Director for Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change. So I won't even focus on the issues that they focused on.
See, you got that sister talking in the background. Somebody just shushed her. Yo, she's finna go off. You don't shush no sister.
Change. So I won't even focus on the issues that they focused on. One of the main issues were that they have.
You heard the white knights in the background? I don't know if y'all can hear that. But when somebody shushed her, they was like, leave her alone. She gonna do. She's fucking up the damn press conference. But nobody can tell them nothing. Just wait till it's done. Wait till everybody starts talking. Stops talking. It's crazy.
One of the main issues were that they have allowed, they said when the police was here, Natasha, that they was going to allow us to use this building to deal with our children, our at-risk youth that has terrorized and victimized our elders, our women, and our children.
At least he said that the quote-unquote at-risk youth, a.k.a. the super gremlins, on demon time are terrorizing people.
To use this facility to also have a safe space for our children to work while the police was training. I say that didn't happen. I'm going to say to Chicago and the world, it is unacceptable for black men and boys to only have graveyards and prisons as their lot.
But whose choice is that? It's an active choice to choose those two routes. It really is.
You have 18, as a person who represent my constituents of formerly incarcerated men who's trying to amalgamate back into society to live a successful life.
Acclimate back into society. This nigga said amalgamate back into society. God damn. Shit. Don't look like it's working.
Amalgamate back into society to live a successful life. 18,000 ex-cons in Chicago is homeless. And we have a whole state and a whole city that talks and profess public safety. If I don't have a place to live and I'm unemployed, then you all become victims.
God, and that's unacceptable too. Just because you don't have a place to live and you're unemployed doesn't mean you get to go victimize other people, especially black women. And black women shouldn't have cheered on. That's right, honey. We gonna be the victims to y'all niggas because y'all ain't got no work. No, that's unacceptable. And those black women shouldn't have cheered that on and agreed in unison with that sentiment. No, that's not fucking acceptable. I don't give a fuck if you're on the streets and you don't have shit to your name. That doesn't mean that you have the right to go terrorize somebody else and we have to accept that. Fuck no.
Live and I'm unemployed, then you all become victims. So we don't even solve the issues of homelessness for our returning citizens.
And I'm telling you right now, these super gremlins who are catching bodies are not homeless.
Yet we want them to amalgamate back into society safely.
Bruh, he gotta stop saying amalgamate back into society. He gotta stop saying that, bro, because it's just like... Anyways.
I'm starting to believe that terrorism in our community, along with redlining and Jim Crowism, is encouraged.
Encouraged by the black community, of course. That's the only people that it's encouraged by, you know, and obviously the prosecutors, which, I mean, you got Kim Fox, black woman, DA. Heard of her? No? Okay.
We perform acts of bravery, formerly incarcerated men, and those that's out here serving and doing violence intervention. I'm telling you, this shouldn't be a big issue, but it is. We take guns and bullets off the streets, and it don't even make the news. Wow. Yeah. It don't even make the news. But this is a
But I thought y'all don't like the displays of, okay, we getting guns and drugs off the street. Like, niggas don't like that shit. When the sheriff comes up and puts like 3 pounds on the table and a pea shooter and talking about, yeah, we clearing the streets. Niggas don't like that shit.
No issue. For who? We can't continue. We are at war, people. Our communities are at war. They are violating our communities, and we asking that we have
Well, we've already violated our own communities, but
we across the country, and we asking and we're demanding for office of Black America or whatever you want to call it to deal with issues like this. That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna fall back and come on, mama.
Can y'all?
Yeah.
Speak loud, Mama. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello. I live across the street.
Okay.
7644. Been there 35 years, okay? Today I came home from doing my shopping. I had to go into my purse, get my ID out, show the police person where I live to get into the alley to go to my garage. Never in the 35 years have I had to show my identification to park in my garage.
so you got to show ID to park in your garage, but you don't have to show ID to vote. Got it.
Where I pay the taxes, a lot of taxes. I don't like that. I'm not going to do that again. Please, neighbors, come and get me out of jail. I'm not going to do that again. Thank you.
I mean, was it funny in the moment if you were there? Probably, but in the context, yeah, the joke just doesn't hit.
Any more questions?
I've been in this community for 56 years. I've lived in the same house for 56 years on Paxton. I have seen this neighborhood when Gramson's and all those stores on 71st Street, and I see it now. This is I don't care what you want to try to call it. I don't care why they want to fix it. This is a systematic process to move us out.
Without a doubt.
Every day I get
Yeah, facts.
3 or 4 phone calls about, do you want to sell your house? No, I'm not selling nothing.
Okay, so I mean, you getting phone calls about people wanting to buy your house, there's no relevancy to the immigrants. It's not like immigrants are out here cold calling homeowners. That has nothing to do with that at all. That's a whole different thing. That's like a whole real estate investor just fishing, just cold calling.
And I keep telling people, you don't have to move. If you sell, they gonna come in. If you don't sell, we gotta stand strong and
That's right. We just getting started.
Okay, so watch them over there in the football field. We've been begging for it.
Wow.
There are people who are selling their homes because the community has no choice who play in that place over there but to go in the alleyway to take care of their business. We have a swimming pool in South Shore High School, which has not been used forever. Last year, they said,
I mean, are niggas really interested in swimming like that though? Let's keep it a buck.
we don't have enough lifeguards because they have not been training swimming and lifeguards here in South Shore.
And the lifeguards are gonna have to carry. I mean, imagine carrying a fucking firearm, having to carry a damn pistol on your swim trunks. Your ass crack gonna show because the hammer too heavy. I mean, it's just not gonna work.
That has a state-of-the-art swimming pool, but they brought the police here to train them in swimming.
Yeah.
So all of these resources that have not come to us, now you want to overly compensate for people who never lived here before, and we need to be taken care of first and foremost before anything else happens here.
Well, thank you so much for you all. Everybody, again, this is South Shore, and we appreciate you coming out. But this is not just about South Shore. It's about all our communities in Chicago, Black communities in the country. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What does the lawyer have to say?
And I can get my contact information. So as we find out what happens with the suit, I'll give you information as that goes on.
He's like, everybody in here, take my card. I know for a fact you're gonna catch a charge soon. So take my card. Take my card here. Young nigga in the green shirt, take my card. You'll be calling me soon. Don't worry. I know. Oh man, that was hilarious. So there you have it, guys. Black people are not happy with the illegal immigrants or illegal aliens coming into the United States, specifically Chicago. And I wanted to play this last video. Now, I don't know if this is in Chicago. People saying it's in a Panera Bread. But this is how passionate Black people are about immigrants, illegal aliens coming into the country.
No, I'm gonna say what I want and then I'll fucking leave. I am so sick of you foreigners coming to my fucking country and treating me like shit. This is my country. You are a foreigner on my fucking land. You fucking racist. You motherfucking racist. You piece of shit.
So there you have it. That is the sentiment of the community towards any immigrants, any foreigners. You know, we talk about racism all the time, but we really don't like other groups as a collective. Now, individually, yes, of course, right? I mean, all of us have a very diverse friend group. Well, some of us do, but collectively, it's not giving acceptance of all different nationalities. And you kind of sit back and be like, hey, man, am I actually becoming the bigot that I so hated by rejecting the humanity and the housing and funding of illegal aliens? And, you know, obviously over here, the answer is no. We understand why shipping in illegal aliens in mass is a horrible thing. But this train of thought, this logic completely stoops Black men and women and the community as a whole. We don't know how to deal with it because we can't just say, oh, fuck those Mexicans, build the wall, right? We can't agree with Trump, but we also can't stomach the fact that they're going to come over and take over our communities and make them better and start rebuilding the vacant homes that we're just leaving up, we just leaving them up for grabs. They're going to start coming in and playing the mariachi every Saturday and shit like that. And they're going to play it super loud. They're going to give their neighbors a notice, but they're going to be playing that shit. You trying to play your hip hop 2 houses down, they playing that mariachi, and the sounds are they're clashing. You got some drill music, they got some, hometown stuff, some local musician, and there's just going to be a clash. It's going to be a feud. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And they're not the Hispanics. They're not like white people. They're not just going to say, oh, well, I mean, we don't know how to deal with them, so we're just going to move out. They're not going to do that. They're going to stand their ground. They're going to double down, and they're going to get y'all ass the fuck up out of there by any means necessary. And the worst part about it is you asked for it. You voted for it. This was your doing, community. You made your bed. Now you must lay in it. But anyways, you already know what it is, man. It is your boy, the Black Gen Z Mindset, a.k.a. BGZM News 17, a.k.a. Jenquavius Jackson. And we are going to send it over to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. Y'all make sure y'all hit that Cash App, that PayPal, that GoFundMe. Support Black alternative news media, because YouTube does not want this message out here, even though they allow murderers, literal murderers. Chef G, if you go to YouTube and type in Chef G, the guy who just got caught up in New York, and he was calling hits on people. Go to his YouTube channel. 572,000 subscribers, still monetized, still making ad revenue, numbers going up, millions of views. YouTube supports murderers. They support murderers, and they don't support the people who are exposing this stuff and advocating for the victim. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM New 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson. And we are out. Appreciate you. Love. Stay safe. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.